blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm always getting limited
Blah, blah,
monetization on these. Let's see. Put that there, open that up. I used to have assistants for these things, but Ven has been busy.
I like them.
She is most of the time a very nice person. Let's see, what game am I turning on today, Cookiedough?
Where can I choose them?
I'll show you. Well, how about I've got Baldur's Gate 3, we've got Elden Ring, we've got Empyrean, Frostpunk, Monster Hunter Rise, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition, Remnant 2, Vampire the Masquerade, and Warhammer 40,000 Darktide.
I don't know any of the games, but I like the name. I like the name Elden Ring or Vampire Masquerade.
Okay. And I'll make sure to stream it to you so that you can see it in real time. If it'll let me. My goodness. I pressed the wrong button. Let's see. I have some special unofficial updates for Vampire the Masquerade that requires that you use a different launcher is all. So I'll fix that. But anyways, hello everyone, if there's anyone watching currently. Welcome to the Saturday stream. Today's special co-host is Cookiedough. Say hi, Cookiedough.
Hi. Hello.
And before you ask, I don't like to reveal people's personality types, so.
So they have to guess.
They could try.
Okay.
Am I allowed to play Vampire the Masquerade on YouTube stream?
Why wouldn't you?
It's it has some mature moments in the game, so
No.
that's all.
Okay.
I mean, this is not intended for anyone under the age of 18, so. Am I streaming it? Nope,
Yeah,
not
I
yet.
can see it.
Oops. Let's try that. There we go. One of my friends for my birthday gave me a year of Discord Nitro, or what have you.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, let's go turn in that quest, I guess. Let's see. What questions do we have about MBTI today?
This game seems fun. I want to play it too.
It's a pretty fun game. I usually play it about once a year. You get to be a vampire in modern day times. Well, what would have been modern day times back in 2004.
What? I
So
can't
you like
hear you. Let's
you
start
drink
the
people's blood, or?
Uh-huh.
Well, you certainly did better
I
than
saw an
that.
Illuminati
Poor dear
sign
can't turn his neck to the right anymore.
on the wall.
Already had a call from Boris.
Ruh-roh.
Wasn't too happy about tonight, son of a bitch. Say, how would you like to get into the club business?
I'm not following.
Well, to start this club, I have to take out a significant loan from a king bastard by
Nothing.
the name of Boris, and every time I haven't been
It's-
able
I
to
don't
make
think
the
we have
monthly
too many
plus
people
interest,
watching
the
the stream at
bastard
the
takes
moment.
what he feels is a suitable late fee. I've got a club to run, so I'll be blunt.
What personality type
I
is this
refuse
person?
to fuck.
I can't see how many people are watching.
He's at the Empire.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can,
you-
oh, 8.
8? Wow.
Get out of your seats and onto that floor, you wankers!
Wanker!
Is that Wildman?
Say what?
Is that Wildman in the comments?
I think so.
Or do you...
I think one of them's Wild Man. We've got Sleepy. I remember Immortal Emperor Master. That's Sleepy. And then Russian Letters is Wild Man, I think. Pretty sure. Let's see here. I'm playing a Tremere Vampire, which is essentially vampire wizards. Yeah. Another wonderful stream today. Who's got questions about MBTI? Because that's why we're here.
Yes? May I help you? Yes. Miss Locke is one of our more,
I guess that's a
popular
no.
guests.
We were recently talking about whether or not anime characters were
I can't do that.
certain personality types.
I see.
We're talking about
Well, in
what's
that
the guy's name on Death Note?
I don't know his name. I can look it
Oh.
up.
It was like, I want to say it was like Kira or something like that. Oops.
Mm,
I think it was like Kira, which I don't get the
Light.
impression that,
Yagami?
Light. I don't get the impression
Yagami
that
is-
he's an ENTJ. I think he's an INTJ, possibly. But then again, I've only watched 2 episodes of it, so. Hmm. Ashley Jones. Okay, that's who we're looking for. We're looking for a one Jezebel Locke. She's on the 5th floor, apparently. It's also a bit of a detective game.
right.
Toop toop toop.
Say what?
Oh no, I was just saying toop toop toop.
Oh,
I don't know why.
let's see. Kira is his pseudonym. Oh, okay. Hi, Joseph. Oh, God.
Yeah, who do we have here? Are you a believer, little morsel? Have you come for the kind of enlightenment only Jezebel can give? Yes, I am Jezebel, and I have such things to show you, little morsel. Such beautiful,
Cookiedough, do you have
dirty
questions about
things.
MBTI?
Won't you come into my parlor?
Hmm.
Of course you do.
So me engaging with the comments, what function would that be?
Well, it depends on why you're doing it.
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't know.
Come on now. Don't
You could be doing it out of a sense of community and being social. So we would go with expression of extroverted feeling. But if you feel good about answering people in the comments, well, then that would be a preference for introverted, well, not a preference, but an expression of introverted feeling. And if you're doing it just because you think that's your job, well, could be introverted sensing, could be extroverted thinking, could be all kinds of reasons. What kind of characters do you enjoy the most, personality-wise? I enjoy people that are being authentic. Authenticity. You spend most of your life trying to decipher between what someone says and what they actually mean. People oftentimes don't express themselves in the way that they wish they could. And so it's refreshing to just talk to people that are being truthful, especially about negative things. And there aren't too many personality types that are going to always be honest all the time about everything. Matter of fact, I'm not sure that there would be one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very scary to be very honest all the time. I think there's a lot of fear of judgment or like rejection or
Most certainly.
not sure.
Keeping a certain perception that people have of you is important for most people.
I cannot control my hunger any longer. Come, the truth will be shown to you as I drink the blood from your twice lifeless body.
Goodness.
Oh, the ecstasy. Oh, ecstasy, little morsel. Sweet.
All right, I get it. Blood strike.
She looks creepy.
She is creepy. A vampire wizard. Oof.
It's Vampire Masquerade, Immortal Emperor Master.
We found a clue. The writing on this flyer reads, "I am enlightened." Super. Oh man, this game is messed up. Let's see. What functions are most likely to contribute to successful theory crafting gear builds for video games? That's actually a good question. So oftentimes the people that focus on the hardcore min-maxing, they are extroverted sensing players. They care about, getting the result that you're looking for as quickly as possible. And so typically you're going to see that in ISTPs and ESTPs. So. Oh, goodness. Also, there's a Russian guy I'm supposed to talk to. Whom I think is on the top floor. But yes, whereas if you ask an ENTP to come up with build ideas for you, they're gonna require more information. Like, what is it that you're wanting to do? Do you want to be tougher, or do you want to have more of a balanced idea, going for maximum damage? Kinds of things. Difficulty of 9. My goodness, I can't do that. And then, usually it's an extroverted sensor that comes up with the build ideas, and then it's extroverted thinkers that will go onto the interwebs and find it out, figure it out, or not figure it out, but to copy it and then move forward.
That washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by
I want them to see me steal this book.
Says he smelled it a mile away. The mystery creature is thought to be some form of
Ha.
giant octopus. Though marine biologists that have
Oh, goodness.
have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod.
I wasn't intending for that to happen. Oops, that's okay. Just vampire things. Let's see, you've been saying a lot of good things about ISTPs lately. Roast them a little. Well, I don't have issues with ISTPs, so. Not normally. The only time I may have a problem is when they're a little overly aggressive. They tend to ignore social conventions, especially in the midst of an argument. But there's really nothing bad about them. They can be clever, they display great levels of ingenuity. Go get 'em kind of personality. What's wrong with that? The stereotypical man personality. You know what, we'll just come back to that.
I thought the stereotypical man personality was ENTJ.
You think men in general act like ENTJs?
No, I thought that's what people say.
I think that that might be what some men aspire to be, or some men wish they were. But no.
Okay.
Definitely not. Things would be a lot different, though, if that were the case.
You give me mess. Yaponimayov. Very well. Follow me.
It would be very weird if everyone had the same personality type.
Yeah, society actually wouldn't function if that were the case. An ISTP 9W8 in my life, the ref, my right-hand man, 10 years with me, a gift. Oh, well, that's good.
Who the hell are you? Is that right?
Stupid,
spoiled American child. Thank you so much. She spits in my face.
Wildman, do you mean you wish you were an ENTJ, or what do you mean?
He wishes he was an ENTJ.
So, what? You are her messenger boy?
Mm.
To work for stupid little girl? You are not man. This is true. I tell you what.
I tend to struggle when people say they want to be a different type.
I maybe get you to do something for me instead.
I don't know, it's kind of sad. I'm like, I want them to like, themselves.
Not everyone wants to be themselves. Not everyone wants to be who they are. Oftentimes we would like to aspire to something greater, or what we perceive as greater.
Very well.
Okay, Wildman.
You make your point. That is all. That's
ISTP is S tier. Did I say ISTP was S tier? Granted, I don't know if I could, you know, really on a real scale objectively say which types were better than others and put them in tiers. Let's see. If I start stealing stuff, these guys will be upset. I can try this and see if it works. Okay. Vampire wizard. Are they gonna get upset with me? No? Great. I could try that for that other part. Urchin says ENFP and ESTPs need to be nerfed. I don't know if ESTPs need to be nerfed. I think they are a powerful force of social nature. And it's not like there's a, we have an overabundance of them or anything. I do think that ENFPs are a little more balanced. ESTPs are more in tune with reality than many other types. ENTP relationship compatibility tier list. Do you remember now? I assume that I gave them S tier in terms of their level of compatibility with an ENTP. And yes, I'm very. I think I'm very compatible with ISTPs.
Organizations based in the region. 3 American citizens are among the missing. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive.
Change of perspective. Okay, yeah, no, I agree that I think I'm very compatible with ISTPs. So yeah, that makes sense. I don't have an issue with that. But in terms of giving them a blanket statement of they're just S tier, like just in life, or as one of the best personalities, no, I couldn't say that. Not with any seriousness anyway. Also, Rachel, while I have you, if you could, please don't promote other YouTube channels in the comment section, if you would. And I was talking about men or women, in terms of just personalities being compatible. Was that it? I think that was it. Didn't even have to kill any of the guards. Who is simply the best quote? Tina Turner? Who is simply the best? I couldn't tell you who the best is. Uh-oh.
Hello?
It's Kiwi.
It's me. Hi. Hello.
Hi, Kiwi.
What's
Kiwi,
your
you're on
name?
stream.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And then the first thing she does is like swears on stream.
I'm not allowed to swear. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were streaming. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hello, chat. I apologize for my misconduct earlier of language. I apologize wholeheartedly to you all. I can't promise I won't. You know what?
I think she's faking that.
Dude, honestly, I don't care if I swear, but I know you're not gonna get banned from swearing. Come on now.
Probably not, but it's less to do with getting banned and more to do with monetization. And so the less we swear, the better.
I think it's fine. I think according to YouTube laws, as long as you don't swear in the first couple of like minutes or so, you can monetize off of it. Yeah.
Let's see. Rachel asks, who is the best for you? I don't have an objective measurement as to which type would be the best for me. I can tell you the ones that I enjoy. I usually enjoy INFPs and ISFPs, ISFJs, but they don't spend a lot of time talking to me for obvious reasons.
I know you were saying that to flatter me.
No. And then we've got other ENTPs I typically enjoy being around. ISTPs I enjoy being around. ESTPs I really like hanging around them.
Boris,
Entertaining. Hilarious.
I've got some money to make us.
Okay, great. You will not lose stonks, as it's 18 plus or after hours. Well, I did put it down in the option fields for it being 18 plus, so hopefully that'll be good enough. On y'all to keep me awake for my commute home. Yeah. That's what we're doing, playing Vampire the Masquerade and answering MBTI questions on a Saturday stream. Let's talk to this shady guy leaning up against a truck.
Player, what's the score? How they hang? Good evening and all that commotion. Welcome to Fat Larry's Trucker Mac, the only store for all your needs after 10 o'clock. I am the proprietor and salesman of the month several years in.
Sorry, I got distracted by some family members, family members, my godmother's family members were leaving, and I was sitting in a very secluded corner in the darkness outside, and then I just stood up and I waved at them and I was like, hello, bye, have a good one. And they're like, holy shit. They were really scared. That scared the shit out of them. Oh, sorry.
Ask me some MBTI questions.
I feel like I'm gonna swear too much. I should probably leave.
I believe in you.
Sorry, I was answering your comments. I know what your favorite comment.
Oh, they're leaving in their car now. Just your professional opinion, guys. Both of you, Cookiedough and
Excuse me.
Urchin.
Bless me.
Should I leave? I swear too much.
You swear too much.
I do. I have a problem. I have a potty mouth.
Oh, goodness. Well,
Should I leave for the... I don't know. Since you're streaming, I should probably do that.
Well, maybe you have some MBTI questions.
Oh, wait, let me think.
And then she died. Alright, let's see here.
Yeah.
What type would ENTP enjoy messing with?
I'm under the... Sorry.
Well, there's a lot of different types that you're going to enjoy messing with as an ENTP. I do enjoy messing with ISFJs. For sure. Same functions, just reversed order.
Sorry. Oh, make sure I mute. Actually, I'll use it as a push to talk. Actually, let me use the mute function as a push to talk. That's a good idea.
Okay.
So I don't say anything uncalled for.
Let's see. What's the most underappreciated function, in your opinion? Underappreciated? Like in the MBTI community? Like which functions do people just not care about and say it's not a good enough, not a good function to be using? I would assume that it's probably extroverted sensing. Most people want to steer clear of having that as a preference. Which, when you're trying to hold yourself up to this this high level of prestige in the community, I can understand why you wouldn't want to be titled as an extroverted sensor. But in reality, extroverted sensing is good for so many things. I mean, how about every time I'm walking through the house and I notice that there's something in my way, I'm applying extroverted sensing. It's being used at that very moment. So if you didn't have extroverted sensing at all, you would just kind of fumble around. And then finding ways to more quickly get from, point A to point B, also extroverted sensing. Let's see. How about ESFPs? What about ESFPs? What type is the most overrated? INFJ. It's been that way since I started MBTI. But that's not INFJ's fault either. It's people keep pushing these attributes onto a personality type that they don't have. So they kind of turn them into this god personality. Let's see. Analysis paralysis. Do ESFPs not please your palate? I have gotten along with some ESFPs in my life. That has happened. I find that ESFPs and I don't have a whole lot in common. So we usually don't end up talking much. Let's see here. Okay. Can you pronounce that type of cookie?
Marmor cookies.
Marma cookies?
Yeah.
What's a marma cookie?
Well, you have to look it up.
I have to look at it. You can't describe it to me.
I'm kidding. It's with peanut and chocolate.
That doesn't sound so bad.
I remember that your favorite cookie is macadamia nut cookie, I think.
Macadamia nut cookies. Those are my favorite. Absolutely. I'm surprised you remember that.
And you said that you like cinnamon rolls or buns.
I do like cinnamon buns, yes, but yeah, of course. Usually, when someone asks me if I want donuts, I'll say, well, I don't necessarily want donuts, but what I will take is a cinnamon roll of some sort.
Okay.
In case, for whatever reason, you're buying me donuts on a particular day. Oh, goodness. Let's see, what types would be the best hero or villain and sidekick combo? The best. I don't know what you mean by the best. Like the ones that succeed the most? Well, that really comes down to the writer. Like which ones would get along and work together. I thought Sam and Dean Winchester did a pretty good job, and that's Dean is an ESTP, and then you've got Sam, who's an INFJ, believe it or not. Sam Winchester, INFJ. I thought that was pretty good. Been getting lost a lot because I'm just thinking a lot when going someplace. Well, that can happen. Let's see.
My crew, we were here shooting for my show. I'm a parapsychologist, haunted LA.
Parapsychologist.
Behind me. Let's get out of here.
Marma Cookie Paddington Bear would also approve, but for yourself, I'm not sure what they mean by that. Let's see.
Look, I'll level with you. We usually fake these things, you know, ghosts, that's all bullshit.
I'm not sure what it means either, but Marmor Cookie and Paddington Bear in a sentence is nice.
I don't know what's happening.
Which 4 types would you choose for the apocalypse and why? Choose to survive the apocalypse, like to have around me? I think someone asked me that question not too long ago. I vaguely remember it. I would probably... so let's cover the bases here. An ISFJ and an ESTP. Immediately. Let's see. Wouldn't need one of those. To choose and to save the world. Yeah, I know that that's two. I'm just trying to think would I need any other personalities outside of that. I don't know. ISFP could be useful in some respects. Someone to bounce ideas off of. Maybe an INTP. And choose to save the world. Well, I would think that I would need more than 4 people to save the world. It depends on the context of the situation. But for a general, like, Fallout scenario, yeah, I'd probably take a ISFJ, ESTP, an INTP, and then maybe an ISFP, maybe an ISTP. No, I would not be taking an ENTJ. No.
What about you?
You think you'd have problems with an ENTJ?
Would I have what?
Problems with an ENTJ? Like,
Yeah, you're going to have problems. The ENTJ is going to want to take control and make all the decisions, and those decisions you can't trust whether or not they're going to be for the benefit of the group or the benefit of the ENTJ. And so, and then, of course, the moment that I disagreed, it would, you know, come to them trying to kill me. Because I'm too much of a wild card. And I don't need that. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, jump puzzle. Not much of a jump puzzle, though, was it? And what personality types would you take, Cookiedough?
Probably ISTP. Maybe ENTP. And ESTP.
There you go.
And maybe,
ENTJ would have no option. It's saving the world, thus saving themselves. Well, it would be a matter, well, in terms of saving the world, they would want to save the world with the end result being that they're taking over. So. Just can't trust them, I tell you. Let's see. Kiwi, are you still there? She dead. Worth a shot. What 4 types would have caused the apocalypse? ENTP, 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 and then 1 INTP? Maybe. That causes the apocalypse.
Some people are watching, but only 7 people like the video. Why is that?
Oh, goodness. Someone exploded on the other side of this door. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and to join my Discord, and then you can ask me all kinds of questions. All the time. Oh, she looks like a nice lady.
Real terror is not the sight of death.
It's really nice.
It is the fear of death. What is the fear of death?
ISTP has the tools.
Is it
they just might.
Eyes you peer into? No, I am not the unknown. You and I are closer kin than you and it were. Drinking blood to sustain your death. You are damned, yes? What if, besides the blood of the living, you had to eat pounds of their flesh to maintain that thin facade of life? What would you call it? Twice damned?
It shouldn't be able, they shouldn't be able to eat human flesh.
We drink blood, I eat flesh. Kine eat food, but Kine think us a monster. Without remorse,
It's possible.
we would burn our body twice over to be certain we were destroyed. What is unnatural for some is vital for others. My birth name I tell no one. You may address me as Pisha.
Pisha.
Pisha was the name of my companion and lover in a time before my death. 200
Wild man, can I know what you
She
mean
has no
with
need of it anymore.
you're the wrong type of ISTP?
Say what now?
Well, I asked Wildman, like, if he wants to explain what he means with being the wrong kind of ISTP.
Yeah, that is he's not certain that he's an ISTP, so I assume that's where it's coming from. What type would have accidentally effed everything up if it were so close to surviving the apocalypse?
Well, any type can accidentally do anything.
I've accidentally messed up some things in my life. Most certainly.
My stay in this city is transitory. I seek relics of the occult traced here and would trade similar artifacts to acquire them. But if you
I see the full question here. What type would have accidentally effed everything up if we were so close to surviving the apocalypse? Someone clumsy? So think of a clumsy personality type.
Tell him this was all a ruse. His friends playing a joke. He will come. He must come down here.
I would actually say that it's probably an ESFP that would screw up a last-minute plan at the minutes to midnight. What's the biggest U destination F'd and why? What 4 types would be the first to die? I assume regular people, like just the average person. So people that are more common in personality type. So you're looking at introverted sensors and some extroverted sensors. So you could pick any one of those. Now I have to convince that guy to come back to get eaten by this vampire. I'm thinking of possibilities too much. Also, I get things lost a lot, and did even more as a kid. I was a class clown as a kid, giving speeches and always having good grades despite not caring. Well, I'm not sure how things are in Mother Russia. Oh, goodness.
I think ISTPs are usually really smart too, right?
I've often found them to be rather clever. It's true. Rather ingenious with their creations. I've also seen ISTPs that don't like to talk a lot and don't like to draw attention to themselves, and I've seen ones that really want to draw attention to themselves and want to be a force of dominance in social situations. Why do ENFPs like the IXXX type so much? Not sure how to respond to that. I would assume that ENFPs generally get along with most personality types, or could have the potential to. I shall ask again, how many ESFPs have been verified by yourself? You've said for INTP, now ESFP, please. So, verified. So that's through, let's say, for the past 10 years. Several dozens. I could possibly even go into the hundreds. You see them outside. They're talking, squawking. You see them at the clubs, parties. Yeah, a lot. Let's see. John Wick. I think John Wick was an INTJ. I think. Oh, on Discord, how many ESFPs have I? Let's see. Bags, which I wasn't supposed to say out loud. So let's say it's 1, 2, possibly a third one. So maybe 3. Maybe. My assistants are usually better keeping track of the people that I type. Generally. That's on the Discord, mind you. So 2, maybe 3. The third one was, he was like 16, 17 or something. And so I don't... Oh, only under very special circumstances am I going to officially type someone under the age of 18. Well, it's not... Is it rare in my Discord? Sure, that makes sense for it to be rare in my Discord. It's an MBTI Discord. Typically, most extroverted sensors do not really care that much about MBTI, as a general rule. Most of them do not. So you're not going to find a whole lot of them in my Discord. ESFPs specifically. You're also not going to find too many ESTPs either. I think there's like, what, 2?
It's a majority under Discord.
The majority is...
I think it's ENTPs, right?
No.
And INFPs.
It's probably ISFPs and ISTPs are probably in the majority.
Not true.
Probably. At least the ones that are vocal, anyway.
No, I guess you mean by, like, members who are active in the Discord, then?
Yeah, like ones that I have officially typed.
Oh, okay.
Do you believe 25 should be the age when one's brain is fully developed? Should be? I don't know if that should be at 25. I imagine that there's a large number of people that have a fully developed brain by the time they're 18, 20. In terms of personality, yeah.
I mean, everybody's different.
Everybody different.
Everybody different, and that's what's so beautiful, ain't it?
Agreed. However, some of us are just different to the grain and the grind. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Age has a lot to do with it. So, what did you say?
No, it was totally unrelated. It's just like I step outside and then like literally 3 minutes somebody will come and find me and they're like, "Where are you at?" God damn it.
I got lost on the way to the backyard. Anyways, as I was saying, age is important. So, for example, I would never suspect that an ESFP is going to want to hang around in my Discord about MBTI under the age of 21. Like, they're not going to be that interested. And even if they were to come into the Discord, they would want to talk about things that were not related to MBTI. Oh, there was that third one. I know for sure. She was 34, and then I knew another one that was 34, and then another one that was like 36, 37 in the Discord. And so age seems to play a part in that. But when you're like a 19-year-old ESFP, you're not caring about this stuff for sure. What age would you say, being that one's MBTI occurs at birth? I do believe that how your brain is formed, during conception and then gestation and then, at birth, that's you are who you are for the most part at birth. However, I have a theory that depending on certain environmental factors, that first letter could change from an I to an E, but the rest of them are going to be the same. It's a theory, and I don't have much to say about it. Actually, I probably do have a lot to say about it, but another time. You have a lot of young populace on your Discord. Yeah, I think we have, I would say probably the average age is like 23. Maybe that's, as an average. That's just a guess. Does medication change one's MBTI? No. You still are who you are. It's just that you may behave a little bit differently when you're when you're on them. I don't think vaping has changed my personality whatsoever.
I gotta get going. I have another disagreement to break up.
Oh.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. Sorry.
Bye.
It was nice meeting you, Cookiedough. I haven't talked to you at all. Please add me on Discord.
Thank you.
I need friends.
It was nice meeting you.
Yes, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
That was
Christian,
nice.
thank you for letting me here, by the way.
You're very welcome. Let's see. Does medication change one's MBTI? Only if it were to cause some kind of permanent brain damage. And I'm not sure what medications doctors are handing out that would cause permanent brain damage. But you still are who you are, but you can have some heightened function use, possibly, like let's say you were on cocaine. You might be more apt to express extroverted sensing. Or maybe if you're on a great deals of caffeine. Same thing. As a matter of fact, I would tell people back in Modern Warfare 2 days, and I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember that, if I wanted to get the nuke kill streak in multiplayer, I would drink coffee. And I, of course, felt incredibly wired. I don't do caffeine very well. And I could tell that my reaction times I was more focused on reacting and spending less time wondering about what's going to happen next and just reacting to what was going to happen. And so, what does that make me an ESTP, while drinking the coffee? No, obviously that's not who I am normally. Because to determine someone's type, we're looking at aggregate behavior over the course of their life. So, I don't know whatever normal brands of coffee there are. I don't drink coffee, really. It's probably something Starbucks related, though, because they make their coffee taste like candy. Coffee doesn't affect you at all? My goodness. You are fortunate, because, coffee seems like something, it's warm, it's got some flavor to it, and so it's something that I would normally enjoy having a drink of, in the morning, but it just messes me up. Oh, this looks grim.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
He done tore him up. Right in two.
Let's see.
Ripped him apart.
More questions, Cookiedough.
These two guys,
Mm.
that guy and another, they showed up. I've been living here. so
Let's say someone is
for
tripping
cops
over
come to
nothing
clean the place out.
while walking, and it's a reoccurring thing. Is that because of low SE?
I would say that they may have something wrong neurologically. Actually, I would take a medical approach to that. Diminished sensation in one of their feet, which could be a sign of, depending on their lifestyle. I mean, that could be diabetes. The diminished sensation in the foot could be maybe a spinal tumor. Could be brain tumor. Could be a vitamin or mineral deficiency. Could be all kinds of things. But just randomly tripping for seemingly no reason? No, I wouldn't say that that was just a lack of extroverted sensing, because most people know how to walk with relative ease. So I would say that there was probably something medically wrong with that person. I would not suggest that they clearly don't have any strong preference for extroverted sensing because they just trip over themselves while walking. Like, no. There's something physically wrong with you.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad. Alcohol does kind of until I overdrink, but you become more blunt with it. Inhibition goes out the window when we're inebriated. And I really become more energized. That's good.
I've noticed that like INTPs and INFPs get overstimulated easily when it comes down to like sound and like physical sensations.
Mm-hmm.
Is that also your experience, or?
I definitely try to moderate my physical experiences. Do my best. Have fun, Rachel. It was nice talking to you. Have a fab weekend. Let's see. I definitely try to moderate my physical experiences, for sure. Getting overstimulated, I don't know what you would mean by overstimulated, because that's more subjective. Like, what does it mean to be overstimulated? What does it mean to overthink something? It's a matter of opinion. So, it's it would be tough to say.
Like, according to you.
Well, I think that when something is trying to assault my senses, it's much more difficult to have my usual set of ideas. Like, to be inside my own head, it becomes more difficult if someone's like screaming in my ear or blasting loud music. And I don't usually enjoy my inner workings being disturbed. Thank you, Rachel, for the €5 or pounds or whatever that symbol is.
It's euros, I think.
Euros? Do the same inferior functions present the same in the two different types? Like example, introverted intuition in ESFPs and ESTPs. Well, yes, in both cases, they don't really focus a whole lot about their personal future. They would prefer to react to what's going on, being more improvisational with what's happening in their life. They don't really care to have some well-laid plans to move forward with. They eventually get there, as they get older, but generally speaking, an ESTP or an ESFP, let's say between the ages of 18 and like 30, they're definitely not about that. Let's see. $5 for the vaping. Thank you. Oh, 612 in United States dollar, which is tanking every day. Love it. Thank you, Rachel. Let's see. How do I get a wife as an ENFP? Well, I imagine there's a few ways that you could do that. One, you could find an ENFP in another country that needs a green card. You could do that.
That's one way to do it.
You could try being confident. Yeah, buy one. Mail order. What does inferior extroverted sensing look like? So we're talking about INFJs and INTJs. And so usually in the beginning, they believe that their plans are all that matters. It's planning things that matter. Improvisation, reacting to things, that's a waste of brain power. You should plan out everything that you're doing. But as they get older, they start caring more about their physical presence and things. That's what I had noticed in the 10 years. So, for example, INFJs and INTJs, They usually enjoy exercise as they get older. They usually have a routine of exercise. Typically in females, they usually prefer just having a diet. However, I have known INTJ females that also would be on a diet and go running, that just going for a quick jog in the morning kind of thing. The males, on the other hand, usually want to be physically strong, typically. So INTJs, or even in the case of an INFJ male that I had typed recently, enjoyed the idea of powerlifting. Just wanting to be physically strong. Understandably so. It not only does it benefit you on a physical level, but it also, for them, for the introverted intuitive, they get the sense of that self-improvement on top of that. So it's benefiting them for sure to exercise and stay fit. What does inferior extroverted thinking look like? I'd like to hear from Cookiedough. Tell us about extroverted thinking inferior, Cookiedough.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure.
She's not sure.
Not being able to have a debate very well. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe, like with me, I've noticed that, like for example, if I'm having a conversation, like, I'll notice that maybe like a week later, I'll think of what I could have said, in a more logical way, but it takes a lot of time for me to like get there. Maybe not being able to find reasons or like arguments very fast. What else?
So, I'll just jump in if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay. So initially, having extroverted thinking in the inferior position, or the fourth position, as I just generally number the functions, that's in stark contrast to introverted feeling. So typically, to a lead preferenced introverted feeler, they would rather go with their gut, their instinct, and whatever feels right to them initially, and that they don't need to be listening to what other people's logic on the subject is. The one thing they for sure care about is how they feel about it. Now, that's what happens in the beginning. Now, we live in a world where personal feelings aren't as well valued as they may have been in previous times. And so even any lead preference introverted feeler is going to learn that being able to speak logically to other people is important. And so usually they end up going with whatever logic, when they're getting it from an accredited source, they're looking for which person they like, and then they will listen to the logic that person tends to give out as they get older. So, and that makes it a big problem if you're trying to argue with either an INFP or an ISFP, because if they don't like you, they will just assume that everything you're saying is wrong. They will have a bent towards a bias against everything that you're saying. But if they like you, they are far more apt to listen and repeat the things that you say.
Yes. No problem. None of your business.
Thanks, Cookiedough. And Bob is a sweetheart.
When someone tries to debate me, I honestly feel like I'm going onto a battlefield without any kind of like armor or protection, and so I just want to get out of it as quickly as possible. Unless I have like someone with me that can like jump in or do it for me. Yeah.
Unconfidence and being a little bit more on the timid side is also something that you'll notice from either ISFPs or INFPs, typically the younger ones. As they get older, they of course build more confidence in things. They are more apt to speak their mind as I said, as they get older. So, but you know, a 21-year-old ISFP or INFP, timid, unconfident with information, but as soon as you start talking about the morals, ethics, or values of a particular subject, they will typically have a lot to say.
That's true. What do you mean, wild man?
Wild man is wild.
Indeed.
When I debate, I almost feel movement in my head, like your brain is like twitching, maybe, or is it like a thought devourer and it's squirming around?
How can I be of assistance?
Okay.
The only thing I feel in my head during a debate is like a headache.
Head pain. That's probable.
Yeah.
That's why you try to bring them to the dark side. Well, if it's their choice.
Yep.
I usually give people at least the illusion of choice.
Why do we need sunglasses when it's dark?
I wear my sunglasses at night. I had sunglasses. Here somewhere. I don't usually wear sunglasses. I think they don't work for me very well, like in terms of how they look on my face. However, I think they're called like 2030s glasses. I enjoy 20. Now, if they were a little bit smaller, I used to have a pair that were smaller than this, and I preferred those. But I like this look to them.
Mm.
And of course, with my current hair, I go into the vape store and the owner calls me Mr. Morrison. And how many people know who Jim Morrison is?
I don't.
He was.
I think they suit you, by the way.
Oh well, thank you. I thought they suited me as well. Let's see. Whenever I... No, let's move on. Let's go up there. What's the best method of learning something for you? Oftentimes doing it myself. I have found solidifies the information regarding the particular task I'm performing. For me. What about you, Cookiedough? How's learning for you? What's the easiest way for you to learn?
I'm not sure. I have to know what I should learn. Like, you mean information or a new recipe, or like what exactly?
Just learning to do something. Let's say cooking something. Let's say a frying chicken, for example. What can you just like read some instructions and then boom, you've got it? Or do you need to do it yourself? Or do you need to watch someone else do it? Things like that.
I can read the instructions and then do it myself.
Well, that's good. Riders on the storm. Boom, 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 boom. Into this house we're born. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Whenever I argue, my mind is the embodiment of... Let's see. Is your third function... If your third function is your advantaged function, what does introverted thinking look like as the third function in this advantageous way? So we're talking about ISFJs and INFJs. And how I have seen it manifest as... when something needs to be logically thought of, then they will use it to that degree, just for the context of that particular situation. So I had a supervisor, an ISFJ supervisor, back when I was working in Austin, Texas. And whenever there was a novel issue that needed to be solved, she would use it in those moments. So if something needed to be moved, or if some printers needed to be shut down to turn other ones on, you could see the gears turning in her head. But after that, once the problem was solved, or when she had an idea of how we were going to do it, then that was the plan. Introverted thinking, she would stop trying to apply that and then go back to applying, extroverted feeling. So now, is she going to sit there and mull over what the best course of action is for the next 6 hours? Absolutely not. That is not what she wants to do. She wants a solution that she believes will logically be sound, and then move on. INFJs, same way. Let's see. Are certain types more prone to liking video games? Certain types. So that's kind of a grab bag a little bit. I have known ESFPs that love to play video games, ISFPs, ENTPs, INTPs. Video games are just generally awesome to play. However, some personalities that I would be surprised to hear about when they would tell me they didn't play video games. INFPs, for some reason, over the past 10 years, a lot of them don't really play video games. They would rather be doing other things, like writing bad poetry, or crying over romantic comedies, or bothering other people about their feelings. They would rather be doing those things rather than doing a video game, which is sad, because I can see all kinds of games, on Steam, for example, that I would think that most INFPs would actually enjoy playing, but they'd have to, get a computer, or they'd have to get a console, and then that costs money, and you got to set it up, and who's going to set it up for me? And, maybe that, process turns them off, and they just don't care for it. My character needs blood. My goodness.
Oh, no.
ENTJs obviously aren't going to play too many video games. Although they would enjoy the domination portion of it, they're busy. They're always looking to make more money, to move up in position, network with more people so they can get more benefits. They're just not going to be doing that. Are certain types more lazy? Most certainly. I found that preferenced extroverted sensors and extroverted intuitives are oftentimes the laziest people you'll ever meet. Most of the time. Let's see, who am I going to eat? Hello.
There you are.
Oh, wait, I've already talked to this one. Oh, she barely has any blood left. Oh, nope, it like, just regenerated. Okay, well. Cool. Drink. Let's see. What kind of personality type enjoys palm fruits the most? I have no idea which personality types enjoy palm fruits the most. No idea. Cookiedough, do you like palm fruit?
What's the hops, bro?
What's a palm fruit? The only thing that comes to mind are like
dates.
Pineapples.
I think dates as well. I don't really like dates, but I do like pineapples. What else? I don't know. The coconuts? I don't know, coconut is... Oh, wait.
Let's see. Why extroverted sensor users are lazy. So extroverted sensors are about min-maxing. And so they can appear very lazy. Like, if they don't need to do a whole lot of extra stuff, they will not be doing a whole lot of extra stuff. They want they figure out how to get the result they want, and then be done with it. They want to maximize the amount of free time that they have. And so they can come off as lazy, like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to clean, my room could be cleaned, but do I really need to clean it right now? No, I'll clean it later. That kind of a thing. Putting things off to, enjoy the moment. So they're going to come off as lazy. Extroverted intuitives, it's roughly the same dynamic. It's not that, either type is particularly lazy. It's just that they have other things going on, and they would like to put off the responsibilities so that they can investigate or explore other more enjoyable activities or thought forms. So extroverted sensors and extroverted intuitives oftentimes are seen as lazy. But no, extroverted sensing, like I have known many ISTPs, ESTPs, ESFPs, and ISFPs that tend to languish when they have things that they need to be doing. So it's a matter of perception. Like, lazy is a subjective term. So one person's lazy might be another person's, very focused and organized individual. So, what type would willingly allow themselves to be bitten by a vampire? I would. Like that, for sure. I would do that. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why other types, all types, would want to become a vampire. So let's take, since we're on the subject of ENTJs today, ENTJs would love to be a vampire. Let's say it's like a traditional vampire, even the ones that kind of have to sleep, right? For one, they don't care about drinking other people's blood. They're not going to care. They're like, whatever, just find me somebody and then I'll eat them and whatever. Super strength, speed, hyper focus. Of course, all your physical attributes in general, whether it's sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing, they all get boosted to 11, right? So that's good. That's like objectively good, right? And then you wouldn't necessarily need to eat. You drink some blood once in a while, but for the most part, you don't need to eat. You just cut back on expenses. Then, of course, if you're one of those traditional vampires that have mind manipulation powers, you could manipulate everyone around you to do what you want. So why wouldn't an ENTJ want to be that? And then, of course, there's the immortality portion of it. And besides the fact that your body's hyper-resistant to damage, you don't die. You just stop aging. So you could be the ruler forever. Why would an ENTJ not want that? But I think for most people, the idea of being essentially ageless, I wouldn't say immortal because vampires can die, but being ageless, that's very appealing to a lot of personalities. Women in particular enjoy the idea of being eternally youthful. What is it about extroverted thinking and introverted intuition combo that makes them want to dominate or to be the most dominant one? Is it the introverted? Well, it's specifically for ENTJs. ENTJs enjoy the idea of being the most dominant, having the most authority, and therefore having the most power. INTJs, some of them I have met care about that kind of a thing, but I've met a great number of INTJs that just don't care. They have their plan, they want their things done, and they just want to have whatever they feel is a good life. Like, a lot of INTJs go for that. They just want a good life. And some of them abhor the idea of being in charge of other people. They're like, no, that's too much for me. I do not want to mess with whatever's going on with these people. I just want my stuff to be handled and to live my life the way I want to. So specifically in the ENTJ, extroverted thinking being in the lead position, so they care a great deal about what objective success is, what most people consider to be successful. So being in charge, commanding a lot of people, having money, and a general position of authority and power. That's the end goal for an ENTJ. ENTJ wouldn't want that because they already have that. They're blood-sucking psychopaths. Well, we're talking about... I understand the joke, but in this particular instance, we were specifically talking about ENTJs becoming a mythical monster. And yes, they would, at the very least, they would want the immortality. What do you think, Cookiedough? Would you want to be a vampire?
Vampires cannot have children, right?
Depends on, well, let's see, if you're a Twilight vampire, apparently you can. So there's that. Let's see. But generally speaking, in traditional vampire mythology, no, they cannot give live birth. They can create more vampires, which they consider their children, but that's about it.
And then I probably want to do one after, like, having children, but then I'm already old, so, like, then... You get stuck on the age that you become a vampire, right? Like, let's say I'm, like, 40, and then I become a vampire. I don't want to be a 40-year-old vampire.
Don't want to be a 40-year-old vampire. Well,
no.
That's understandable, I suppose. Let's go to Skyline.
Yeah.
Am I going the right way? Yes. Let's see. The best phrase of the stream. What do you think, Cookiedough? Yeah. Is there a type that would prefer to be submissive? ISFPs and INFPs I have found to be ones that, in general, prefer submissiveness. A nicer way to put it is they tend to be more agreeable. Why, though? Well, as we discussed before, extroverted thinking in the 4th position leads to a great deal of unconfidence and timidness. And they're not sure about what the logical next course of action is, and so they'd rather someone else come up with it. Someone else to lead and take charge. Milton sounds familiar. There we go. Of course it makes sense. It's because I said it. Ha! Cookiedough, do you have a question about MBTI?
Not right now.
Not at this very specific moment. Where's Bob at? Why isn't Bob in my voice chat as well?
Who's Bob?
None your business.
Oh. What type is Bob?
I'm not allowed to say people's types.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But if Bob
I'm
wants
sorry.
to, Bob wants to tell people, that's entirely up to Bob.
Bob? Can I know your type?
And Ven, I'm imagining, is asleep or something. She's not going to be here. And then Harley was supposed to be here yesterday, and she was a no-show as well. Let's see. What type would you get if you take psychopathy out of ENTJs? ESTJs? Could go with that. I thought, yeah, we did that. I guess that was the end of that
I'm
particular
gonna get
quest
some
for now.
water
Say what?
really quickly. I'm gonna get some water really quickly.
Okay, be safe.
I'll try.
Alright. Let's see, but yes, if you were to take the psychopathy out of an ENTJ, well, they would all of a sudden have to start caring about other people and actually have a conscience and determine that the things that they do to other people may not be good, and therefore they need to stop that behavior. Maybe they would become something like INFJs. Possibly. Maybe ENFJs.
Say now, brother, seeing the kind of commando gear you been stocking up on, you ain't just... Wow, that's your business, okay. I just figured somebody with a shopping list like yours might be up for a little action, czar, alright?
Okay.
Yo, I need a hardcore, massively bionic, two-fisted yo Jimbo for a supersized skull. Straight up $100 million movie gangster. You still with me? Yo, here's what's going down.
I guess I'm an ENTJ now. Okay, so I understand how introverted sensing looks in INTPs as a third function, but what about that's the same? If it's supposed to be advantageous, what is the advantage of using introverted sensing to think of sad past feelings? Well, they also think of good things as well. But we oftentimes learn more about ourselves and people in general by ruminating on the decisions that were being made or how you chose to handle situations. It's a part of what makes INFPs so good at acting. You get to remember those things, and then you can bring them up later when someone has a problem or you're trying to determine why someone's feeling the way that they are. You can use your memory to, remember that time that thing happened, and that's why they're probably being sad right now, and then you would use it to your advantage that way. It's all for talking to people. But yes, oftentimes for them, they tend to get locked into bad memories. If bad things have happened in their life, and of course if good things have been happening in their life, then, pleasant memories instead. But of course they use their memories for other things, obviously. They have a preference for it, and they can remember what someone had said or what they did, and that of course can help you in the future. Pattern recognition is great. And that certainly helps them in their pattern recognition. What was I supposed to be doing? Fat Larry, businessman extraordinaire, wants you to acquire a briefcase being exchanged between the Tong and the local gang at a nearby parking garage. Get the briefcase undetected if possible. But that's not advantageous. They just use it for the advantage purposes. So, yes, knowing what bad things have happened can absolutely help you in the future. Yes, ruminating on the bad things that have happened to you can be very advantageous. Don't you think? What if you went through life, which there are some personality types that do go through life this way, but imagine what your life would be like if you didn't remember the mistakes that were made. And you just kept going through life making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And believe me, there are personalities that do that. I know I'm right, Bob. Let's see. What else do we got here? Pattern recognition makes people racist. That definitely is a topic for another venue, for sure. Like ENFP, who has introverted sensing in the inferior position, they think bad things and do nothing with it most of the times. Just be sad. Just be sad.
I actually enjoy crying, by the way.
I believe you when you say that. For some people, it's very cathartic to cry. It can alleviate some psychological issues.
Sorry. Yeah.
And so yes, I believe you when you say that. What? I've typed you already, haven't I, Cookiedough?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like to cry about?
Sometimes I don't even have something to cry about, I just cry. Like it just
Just cries for no reason.
No, it's not no reason, but it's like, it's a hidden reason.
A hidden reason?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some people enjoy crying. There you have it. I imagine INFPs enjoy crying. Can we talk? Nope. Okay. You know, Bob probably cries all the time, right, Bob? Laughing about crying. You could do that too. Oh, goodness. Oh, the game did not do that to me just now. Are most performers ESFPs? What do you mean by performers? Like exotic dancers? Yeah. If that's what you mean. Yep, she cries every 15 minutes on the hour. Perfect.
I don't know if Bob's being sarcastic.
I think Bob's being sarcastic. If you cried that much every single day, 24 hours a day, you would probably be dehydrated. It might kill you to cry that much, actually. Musicians,
Maybe you can get blind.
certain artists I have noticed were ESFP. There's INFP artists out there as well. I'm sure there are some ENTP artists. Oof, my character is not meant to sneak, by the way. Which is weird, I know, because I'm a vampire. They should be automatically sneaky, but... Bob has no soul, Bob can't cry. Well, that answers that. Whoa. Oh, good, we have two Bobs. Let's see, what else we got? I also noticed ESFPs in the past, like, 5 or 6 years, I've noticed a lot of them end up being security guards. Try to explain that one. I don't know why. Security guards. Bob's also a ginger for sure, Solus. Is Bob actually a ginger? Kind of doubt it based on the genetics that I've seen of Bob. Kind of doubting it.
I thought None Your Business was Bob.
Yeah. None your business is Bob.
Okay.
Come
I have
on, more
gingers in
MBTI
my
questions.
family.
You have gingers in your family? I'm sorry to hear that. Fun times. Ask me more MBTI related questions. Let's go. Keep me talking. Or just sit back and watch me fail to be a real vampire in Vampire the Masquerade. And I will absolutely be streaming the number 2 when it comes out. If it ever comes out. I kind of doubt it at this point. Ah! Leave me alone. But yes, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 should be, hopefully, coming out in the near future, if we're lucky. I will command this guy to not look at me. Ha! Can ESFPs ruminate? I'm negative past feelings too. Oh, on negative past feelings. Yeah, most people do. However, I've found that with ESFPs, they really don't enjoy doing that. They do not want to ruminate, or they don't really want to dwell on negative past experience. Just keep moving forward, you know, and everything will be okay. That's kind of their general behavior. Could MBTI be applied not only to humans? Theoretically. I mean, sure, I'm certain that there are some aliens, you know, out there that might be similar. Higher primates, maybe. You look for the particular behaviors. I always figured that most animals, if not all animals, were ISTJ. They do what their parents did, vaguely follow instincts, and just care about being not necessarily efficient, but not thinking too much about how their actions might affect things in the long run.
I've typed some of my stuffed animals.
I believe you. Why don't you tell us about your favorite stuffed animal? Tell us about its MBTI type. Go for it.
My favorite is my llama. Or alpaca? I don't know.
An alpaca, okay.
The difference. Yeah.
And what is the MBTI type of your alpaca?
ISFP.
That's reasonable. Does the alpaca talk to you?
An alpaca?
Just out of curiosity.
Do you mean in real life?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it actually speaks to you or not.
No.
Okay, good. That's great news. Now tell me why your alpaca is an ISFP.
I don't know, it's just a vibe, kinda. Like,
it's a vibe thing.
ISFP.
That's perfectly fine. I bet.
Alpaca is like a mixture between a sheep and a giraffe.
Okay. It's good to know. Where am I supposed to be going? Can't go in there. Okay. So an ISFP alpaca. That's good to know. What's another question regarding MBTI? Do we have any more questions?
No.
No? No more questions? What is the ISFP vibe? Tell us about the ISFP vibe.
When I think of ISFP, it's like very calm and non-judgmental in a way. And so I feel like relaxed and just nice to be around.
That's wonderful. That's a beautiful thought. And very flattering to the ISFPs in the audience. Let's see. What led you to MBTI, the internet? Led me there. But it was first brought to my attention by one of my friends from way back when.
I know his name.
You know whose name?
Oh, never mind.
You know the alpaca's name? I mean, you should.
No, the person that helped you into MBTI.
Got it. It was Paul.
Yeah, I remember.
Your memory is good. Impressively good, in fact. Oh, goodness. and 2 other guys from around the corner who didn't have line of sight to me saw me. Let's see. And Bob with more inappropriate questions. What types are more likely to be involuntarily celibate? Now, do you actually mean incel or like as part of that community, or do you mean just involuntarily celibate? Who's Paul Allen? I'm not familiar with whoever that is. As for what types? He's asking what?
He's asking if you meant Paul Allen when you said Paul before.
Oh, no. Paul, a friend from way back when. So the types that are, as of late, anyway, these past, 10 years or so, ones that are more likely to be involuntarily celibate, I have seen the guy from American Psycho. Anyways, a lot of them are men that have confidence issues for more than one reason, oftentimes, but usually I have found that shorter men have a lack of confidence, and understandably so. I have seen ISTPs, ISFPs, ESFPs, a lot of S-types, and then of course INTPs, that way INFPs, great number of them. I made a video about which male personality types typically get the most positive attention. My goodness, these people are asking to die. The ones that get the most attention, positive female attention, ENTPs, ESTPs, ENTJs, ENFPs, and I want to say there was a 5th one. Someone will have to go back and watch that video. But those types generally get the most positive attention. And I've seen incel, I've seen INTJ incels, ISTPs, ESFPs, INFPs, ENFPs. I've seen it now. It's really, it's obviously very contextual. Because if you're not getting, it starts early on. If you're not getting a lot of positive, as a man anyway, if you're not getting a lot of positive female attention, that hurts your confidence, and then you have less opportunities to speak to a female, and then you're just unsure of what you should be doing, and that leads to all kinds of problems. Are sensors more likely to seek an adrenaline rush or find a thrill in fighting someone? More likely, yes. Generally speaking, ISTPs oftentimes will go out of their way to get into confrontations. That is what I've seen. The average ones, anyway. I have also known ISTP males that were like 5'3", and they didn't care as much for confrontation. Understandably, they live in a world in which physicality is very important, and so when you're that small, your odds of winning a confrontation tends to go down. And so, but yes, sensors typically enjoy the adrenaline rush and things. Most assuredly.
Sounds difficult to have like this physical thing that's stopping you from being who you want to be.
Yep.
Or
you are correct in that it is difficult for a lot of them. For females, what types would struggle more than other female types to find lovers or long-term partners? There's really no females that have to struggle to find those. but especially since it's either lover or long-term relationship, and if we're using both of those as the metric here, then there is no personality type female-wise that has a problem with that. For long-term though, introverted intuitives typically have the more difficult time in maintaining a long-term relationship because they're too inwardly focused and they forget that other people exist. Not their fault, but they're just so focused on themselves that they tend to forget that, oh right, I'm in a marriage and there's another person that might have needed attention, or they're not paying attention to the signs that their marriage is breaking down, because, well, once again, the marriage is not them. The marriage is something else. So they just don't focus on it as much. Understandably. Yeah, as soon as I break stealth, they get upset. Let's see. That's why I said more so than other types, not just struggles, period. Yeah. It just, in terms of finding a lover, there are very few women on the planet that really have much difficulty being able to get into a romantic a relationship, a intimate relationship with someone, with a man. That's not reality. But in terms of long-term stuff, introverted intuitives, females are going to have a problem. So ISTP females wouldn't struggle? No, not to my knowledge. The two ISTP females that I had known personally, both married, and one of them have kids. As for an ESTP female, I believe that I've seen some throughout my life, but they're very few and far between. They're also not really going to have struggles in that regard. I mean, of course, you want to make sure that you pick someone that you're going to enjoy spending your life with, but no, they don't really. They're not going to have issues. All in all, it's men who have to prove themselves useful. Typically, yes, women normally do not want a useless man. Typically. Maybe Cookiedough wants a useless man. I don't know. Maybe.
Why?
What? Why?
Well, why would I?
I don't know. I thought maybe you did.
A useless man?
Yes. We were responding to what Wildman was talking about.
Mm.
It's men who have to prove themselves useful. But maybe some women want a useless man. But of course, I mean, everyone has a use, right? There's very few men that just generally have no use.
Everyone has potential to be useful. So,
sounds good to me.
you know.
Let's see. To women, it all comes down to attractiveness, and general intelligence. Or are we talking about what men care about in women? In that regard?
I think what women care about in men.
Oh, what women care about in men. Well, we're talking about attractiveness in general, maybe. Are STPs more likely to be a jack of all trades? They tend to deal with more physically related subjects and things like that, so you could say that. I've known a number of ISTPs that could fix your car, but they could also cook, and they could help you manage some software related issues on a computer. I have met some. But I imagine most men are interested in a long-term relationship with a woman who is emotionally caring and nurturing, so inferior extroverted feeling or even just a low introverted feeling might be less appealing. So there's this, what would I call it? The girl next door syndrome. Might be one way to describe it. Where the kind of the girl next door may be more familiar, more tomboyish, perhaps. Those are, of course, attractive. But in regards to that, being attracted to that versus more stereotypical female, there was a study that I read many years ago, and they showed a number of men pictures of two women. One was more feminine looking, or, well, I guess it would have been more, that was multiple pictures, I imagine, but one would be more feminine and one would be maybe more masculine presenting, like they'd have more of like maybe a cleft chin or a stronger jawline, things like that. And they found that the men would want to marry the more feminine looking woman, but they were more attracted to the more masculine presenting female. Like they would rather have relations with the more masculine one, but they would want to marry the other one. And the theory behind that was that a woman that has more masculine, slightly more masculine features are more likely to engage in that kind of activity, like easier to engage in that activity. So maybe. But yes, typically on a more logical level, a man wants a woman who is more nurturing, caring, patient, agreeable, things like that. Not just for for personal desires, but also for, let's say, being more apt to manage a household, and of course to raise young children. And so the most popular personalities for the more desirable personalities for men are typically women that are very agreeable. So ISFPs, in some cases INFPs, then ESFJs and ISFJs. Let's see. Even low or inferior introverted sensing, if she's not interested in past traditions, being a traditional woman. Yeah, that can be a problem. Like you're not going to find an ENFP or an ENTP female that wants to be a traditional housewife. They're going to do things a little differently, for sure. What types are more likely to be substance abusers? A lot of, I can tell you about the ones that don't want to be substance abusers. So introverted intuitives do not want to be substance abusers. Abusers, mind you, it doesn't mean that they might not take certain substances to help them perform in certain areas, but like regular just brain-addling drugs, they introverted intuitives stay away from that. All the other types can just as easily be prone to that behavior. Even introverted sensors, of course, as I've expressed multiple times, an introverted sensor changes based on their upbringing, where they grew up, that particular social climate. So if you're a ISTJ that grew up in Central California, where drugs are rampant and gang violence is all over the place, you're going to be more likely to do drugs. But if you're that same ISTJ and you grew up in a place where there were very little or no drugs and virtually no crime, then you're going to swear off that kind of behavior. So introverted intuitives are far less likely to become substance abusers. So that means 12 other types are more likely.
Can I ask something?
Of course.
So let's say I want to be a traditional woman. Does it come from SI, or I don't see how?
No, a wanting to be. I mean, we would have to talk about what it means to want something. But I mean, choosing to be one, like deciding for yourself that yes, being a traditional woman is the better option, I would suspect you would need a stronger preference for introverted sensing. Now, you would be able to emulate being a traditional woman. You know, if you were an INFP, for example, you would know how it's done, for sure. But whether you would truly be satisfied with that kind of life, you know, that's something else. I mean, an ISFJ would be a traditional housewife because that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they were told that they need to do. That's what other successful marriages required. And so they're like, no, I need to be this. It's not that they want to be. It's just they know they need to be. It's built. That's their programming, is that they need to do this. So.
But what if the only reason is because you think it makes you happy?
An introverted feeling.
Ah, okay.
Let's see. What types would be more against being told what to do? ENTPs and ENFPs despise being told what to do. Typically, they despise it. They don't like it at all. not in the slightest. But also it can also depend on the context of the situation. But in general, as a blanket understanding, anyone with a fourth positioned introverted sensing, they do not like to do things because they were told to do them, because that's following, you know, oftentimes it's following tradition. You know, like you do what your parents tell you. Why should I? I'm sure you can come up with a lot of reasons why you should listen to your parents, but their first, you know, an ENTP's first response is, well, why? Just because they're my parents, I'm supposed to listen to them and do what they say? No, not so much. ISTPs also don't enjoy being told what to do. There's that. ESTPs also cannot like being told. It's all contextual. It depends on the situation. But typically, types that would be more against it, the most against being told what to do, yes, that's ENTPs and ENFPs. Let's see. What types would be... What's the problem with Israel and Palestine crisis? If I can put on my tinfoil hat for a moment, that is all political theater, and has been political theater for many, many, many decades. That's their problem. Why are ISTPs glorified for being the stereotypical action hero? They prefer to handle situations hands-on. Typically, ISTP says, well, I could either try to diplomacy this henchman and be like, look, man, I understand that you're just doing a job and I'm just here to save people. Do you really want to do this? And they could do that. They could try, and it probably won't work, but they could try it. Or they can, you know, sneak up behind him and knock him out, and problem solved. One idea is much faster than the other to get the desired result, which would be to disarm an opponent. And so when it comes to ISTPs don't enjoy bureaucracy. They don't enjoy this whole diplomacy thing. They would rather get to they would rather solve the issue as quickly as they possibly can. And so that's ISTPs are typically men who take action. They don't want, you know, the whole red tape and bureaucracy, and those things take time, and you may end up not getting the desired result. And so, you know, John McClane, very typical ISTP, as an example. If anyone knows who John McClane is from the Die Hard movies, well. Would higher introverted sensor users be more likely to live in the same state for, I'm going to say, most of their lives, or not be interested in traveling very much? Sorry, there's this stupid heart that's in the way of all of my... at the end of these comments here. Would higher introverted sensor users be likely to live in the same state for most of their lives or not be interested in traveling much? Yeah, introverted sensors don't typically enjoy traveling. They would rather make use of what they've already got. in where they currently are. So my grandfather, IST, or not ISTJ, he's an ESTJ, and he lived in California for most of his life. After he got a house built on some property, he was planning on staying there until he died. Now, of course, things change, things happen, especially when there's the potential for money. But, you know, he lived in California for, 50 plus years, easy. Let's see. I'd imagine high introverted sensor users wouldn't see the point in traveling or moving around too much. I don't think introverted sensor users are risk takers. They're all about routines and norms. Yeah, they prefer the routines and the norms, for sure. So cousin Chris probably has higher introverted sensor. You're talking about Craig? Craig has been moved around a great number of places in his life. And he he's planning on moving to Idaho, or at least that's what he last talked to me about, was moving to Idaho. And so bad memory. Yes. No, he moves to wherever his family's at, generally speaking, but he was thinking that as his family's getting older and they're not going to be around for much longer, and he may want to think about where other places that he may want to live, and Idaho had come up. Why are some types, INTP, ISTP, INTJ, more attracted to science fiction media? I know INTPs enjoy science fiction, and then of course I have known ISTPs and as well as INTJs, but for INTJs, usually their interests are very specific. But INTPs enjoy, I mean, you could. It's not just those three types. I mean, it's ENTPs, INTPs, and then of course ISTPs and ISFPs can enjoy science fiction. I wouldn't say that it's just these three types are more attracted to science fiction media. You'll find some INTJs that don't care that much about it. Like, yeah, sure, they'll watch some shows about conspiracy theories, or they'll watch some documentaries about Bigfoot for some reason. I've known a lot of INTJs that for some reason think that Bigfoot is in fact out there and it's an interdimensional creature that can phase in and out of reality. There's so much there that doesn't make sense. But it's there are a lot of types that enjoy that are attracted to science fiction media. Those three types were the ones that immediately came to mind. Well, those wouldn't necessarily, because ISTPs, especially in these more modern day times, I have known ISTPs that put a little more interest in science fiction-y things. Not too many though, as they care more about, their plans in life and getting the things they want done and whatnot. So they don't necessarily spend as much time on those kinds of mediums. But why would they be attracted to it? Well, it could be a minor use of extroverted intuition, or it could be they enjoy the idea of imagining themselves in those positions, and they find that to be interesting. So there's all kinds of reasons why they would be. You'd have to ask them specifically. I keep playing Vampire Masquerade, ho. Okay. Well, I was trying to play it, but my goodness, I've got myself in a bit of a pickle here. Unfortunately, I don't want to get caught by any of these guys, and they're like right around the corner. And that guy.
I have a question. Are
Thank
people
goodness.
asking me a question?
Cookiedough, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're over the age of 18.
I'm not sure. I I can get along with anyone really. But I've noticed that ESTPs make me feel kind of, like, they scare me a little bit.
ESTPs scare you a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like, they're very, they can be very active in a way, and I don't know. Honestly, I can get along with anyone, really.
But what types do you prefer as companions?
Like, to be friends with,
It specifically says companion. So I guess, at the very least, someone that you would keep around you at all times, or much of the time.
I'm not sure, but when I look around me, the people that I've been closest to have been, INTJs and, INTP. So, I don't know what that means. I'm also not very, I don't talk to a lot of people, so I don't think I've met every type, as a friend. So, I'm not sure. I do like high NE users, usually, is it?
You don't like high NE users? Is that what you said?
No, I like high NE users.
Okay, well. Let's see here. Would you ever consider playing the Prototype games on stream? Prototype? That's an old game, isn't it? I've never played a Prototype game, but yeah, I guess. Doesn't bother me any. If I remember right, it's an action RPG where you get to... your character kind of mutates throughout, although I could be thinking of something else. Don't ESTPs usually get along with most people? I could see ENTPs getting along with most people, too, as long as they manage to not irritate other people. Yeah, ESTPs have a preference for making sure that people enjoy their company. Now, why they scare Cookiedough, I will probably never know in this life. Clearly, they must come off as predatory or something. Which is weird, because, you know, ENTP should come off as predatory as well. So... I don't rightly know.
I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just what it is. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, they just scare her, but not in a bad way.
Being scared isn't always a bad thing.
Being scared is not always a bad thing. Okay, well. Good enough for me. Let's see. Quest completed.
Partner.
Hi, Fat Larry.
Outstanding. Pass it over here, partner. Yeah, that's
Is
beautiful.
MBTI influenced by nature or nurture? An example is my mom is ISFJ and dad's an INTJ. I turned out ISTP. So typically most of your cognitive function preference will be on nature. You are born, your brain is essentially the way that it is, you know, and in how you choose to engage with reality or of course choose to ignore it.
But as I said earlier, I had a theory that at the that possibly, at the most, you could change from, let's say, in this case you said you're an ISTP, possibly if you had a different upbringing, a different parenting style was placed upon you, you might have been an ESTP. possibly. And that's just an idea, a theory. But generally speaking, you are who you are. And, you know, most of your personality is genetic. So it's, mutations happen, though. So, anything's possible. Thank you for all the hearts. No. What types do you prefer in fiction? Yeah, does it depend on the genre? I don't have necessarily a preference, as long as the story's good. Like, that's, as long as I find it entertaining, then I don't really have a preference for that. Generally speaking... What?
Sorry for interrupting.
I don't think you did. Anyways, in terms of genre, I prefer anything that's not slice of life, generally. Like, it's got to have, like, either magic in it or some really futuristic technologies, things like that. That's generally what I prefer. What's the general archetype that you find your favorite? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I don't have any particular preference in characters. Usually they have a wide variety of characters in stories, movies, television shows. So, weird question, but in terms of fidgeting, that leg bouncing thing and foot tapping, do you think that connects to any functions like extroverted sensing or extroverted intuition? I would imagine that it's a sign of restlessness to be bouncing up and down or tapping your fingers. It's usually, usually just general restlessness. So I don't necessarily think that it's connected to any particular function, although I would say that if you have a certain preference for function, a certain preference in functions, that if you end up doing something that you're not particularly interested in, and that you'd rather be somewhere else doing something else, then I could see where a leg bouncing up and down might occur. Why are sensors attracted to martial arts more than intuitives? I don't know if necessarily sensors are more attracted to martial arts. They might be more attracted to the idea of carnage and physicality. But, you know, when I was very, very young, I enjoyed the idea of martial arts, the idea of taking physicality and turning it into something of an art form, which are more or less, martial arts training is just a set of tactics that you can employ during physical combat. So, I don't know if they are necessarily more attracted to it, but then most certainly I would think that sensors get into martial arts just for the physicality, not necessarily the art portion of it. So what types would become restless more often? So I have found extroverted sensors to oftentimes be displaying that kind of behavior, like bouncing a leg up and down, etc. I have seen that, because usually, if you have someone with a strong preference for extroverted sensing, and you tell them, hey, you have to sit in a classroom for a long period of time, trying to learn stuff that you don't care about, yeah. Can you type some of the characters in this game? Yeah, I'm sure I could type some of the characters in this game. I think Fat Larry here is probably an ESTJ, as an example.
ESTPJ.
Hmm?
You said ESTPJ.
I said what?
You said ESTPJ.
I did not. And if I did, I apologize. ESTJ. Fat Larry.
Yo, I got dinosaur eggs. We don't know what kind. Buy them and hatch them.
As an example here.
My man, what is up?
I need to do some shopping, Larry. Do you have anything I want? Guns. Not a fire axe. That's probably very damaging. Let's take that.
Oh man, got a Galapagos turtle this week only.
I'm sending all these emojis, like, I cannot resist doing it.
Cool. Let's see. It's a passion of mine, admittedly, so I was curious. Have you seen any Dragon Ball? Yeah, I have seen a good number of Dragon Ball episodes, mostly Dragon Ball Z, and I've seen a good number of the Dragon Ball Super episodes. Not necessarily all. I watched the Tournament of Power. You know, I had to see how that turned out. Chance Cooler's Revenge. I haven't actually seen the original Cooler's Revenge. I've only ever seen it in the abridged version, which obviously they're going to give him a bit of a different personality type, so not so much on that. You can also be typed by Urchin for $20 if you are interested. Yeah, that is also an option. Usually
yeah,
I
it's
have.
a very good typing.
It's very good. At the very least, it causes you to ask questions about yourself afterwards. Some have found it to be very therapeutic. As a matter of fact, some people have offered to do a second typing with me just so that they could talk more. So that does happen. Who dat now? We got another one. I don't know. Who is it? Apparently it's nobody. Nobody joined in the Discord. Bridged Cooler got typed as an ISTP, whereas Cannon Cooler is ISTP for Abridged Cooler?
I think Haley joined the... Is that Haley? I don't know.
Harley?
Oh, it's Harley.
Harley. Harley.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you didn't tell me you were streaming today. What happened?
Well, I thought you were going to be here yesterday as well.
So, I was supposed to be here yesterday. I finished the typing session, and my son came to me with a bloody nose. Kind of took over anything online.
Bloody nose?
Yeah, his nose started bleeding.
Your nose started bleeding. Well, that's not good.
Not mine, his.
Oh, why?
I think it was allergies, but what do I know?
Dry air will do that, for sure. Let's see. It's Harley. Oh, it's, yeah, personality database is not a excellent source of information regarding diagnoses of personality types.
Harley Quinn.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Ironically, no, my name is not after Harley Quinn.
Okay. If, like, let's say one day you wake up in a stable and you find out that you're a horse, like, would, do you think every type would react differently to that?
Assuming they could keep their consciousness as it normally would be as a horse, then yeah, I imagine some are going to apply that differently. Or deal with it in their own ways, most certainly. Now, if they just become a horse, therefore have the mentality of a horse, I would imagine most people would behave the same. But if they got to essentially keep their consciousness and their memories, and then just woke up one day to find out that they were a horse, I'd be like, well, yeah, they're gonna try and figure out how it happened, I would imagine. Let's see, Urchin, tell us a time you used extroverted feeling to your advantage in the most impressive way. It would probably be something I couldn't talk about on YouTube. That would require, that's off YouTube stream kind of conversation there.
What's up, brother? You enlightened?
I am enlightened, brother.
Welcome to the Brotherhood. The bishop will see you upstairs.
Righteous. That's right, I said it. Alright. This person looks frightened.
Hey, did you get summoned? You're going upstairs to see the bishop. You're new to the Brotherhood, huh? Just got enlightened. I've been here.
Is MBTI generally used for self-improvement? No, it is not generally used for self-improvement, and the reason for that being that most people end up deciding that they are personality types that they are not, and don't improve. That's mostly. Could you use it for self-improvement? I'm sure having a greater understanding of why you behave the way that you do is, helpful and can lead to improvement. But for the most part, MBTI was used to put people in job positions during World War II. That was something that it was used for. So, I mean, being able to choose the kinds of careers that might be most beneficial to you, that could be helpful.
The bishop? Yeah.
I'd like to hear a more expanded version of your answer to how much do cultural, space, and ethnicity influence your type. Please note your observations.
Dream about him all the time.
So in terms of cultural space, a lot of that has to do with introverted sensing. So depending on the culture you grow up in, you will be programmed to abide by that culture and its rules.
I don't know. Blood. She said, blood everywhere. She saw a few of the summoned to try to,
And so we can talk more about that later, maybe in the Discord.
These woo blank looks, One of them started reaching for her, and she ran away.
What's the topic of today?
I know.
Just another lazy Saturday stream.
Our earthly fears.
So no particular topic. Not sure what topic I would be able to actually stretch out into 4 hours. Most of the time I can be very concise with my answers. And so a topic might take me like 5 minutes. So.
Just making sure.
Mostly I'm just streaming Vampire the Masquerade here, eating people. What's your type, Urchin? I'll let you decide what my type is. You can, go through my collection of videos that I have posted on the interwebs on my YouTube channel, and you can tell me what my type is.
I know.
Zombies.
Are you ready?
Say what?
Are you ready?
No, you're not allowed to say. People have to figure it out.
Oh no, this one's such a funny one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
ISFJ, final answer.
ISFJ, final answer. Let's see if anyone agrees with that. Pancakes, yep. Pancakes is a cool personality type, for sure. Stack of pancakes. Sir, can you answer my question, please? What was the question? Can you explain what it looks like for you when you get burnt out on extroverted feeling? Because we supposedly get burnt out on our third function after a while, right? Well, anyone can get burnt out doing most things that they're not, that they don't have a strong preference for. Yeah, there are some days where I don't enjoy the idea of placating people around me because it takes a lot of energy, and in most cases I'd rather be doing something else. So, what's it look like? Probably withdrawal from society for a period of time. That's what I would do. Because not every person that you talk to is always going to be the most interesting of conversation partner, so. And if you're not going to be that interested in it, then it can become rather tedious to talk to some people, and so you would rather just, maybe buy yourself a new AAA title and go on an adventure for the next 40 hours.
Adventure time.
Yeah. Do ESTPs do the same thing with third function extroverted feeling? Yeah, my cousin Craig, he's often seemingly required to be engaged in social activities more often than he'd probably like, and so he when that happens for a long stretch of time, he will absolutely just stop talking to people and then play a game or whatever. As a matter of fact, he recently did something like that, and he spent his time playing Warhammer Total War 3, where he played a Slaneshi army and spent 40 hours or something like that. Spent like roughly 40 hours completing the campaign. So, didn't talk to me at the very least. So, withdrawal after being burnt out? Yeah, most people will do that. Like, if people just don't feel up to having conversation with other people, they'll absolutely do that. INFPs tend to do that a lot. They just withdraw. They take time to mull over the happenings of the past several days, and, they'll take time to themselves. So, yeah. What type is Cousin Craig? Cousin Craig is an ESTP.
Disease. Brother, you've got to open your mind. One man's disease is another man's.
Harley, do you have questions?
Here among the Brotherhood of the Ninth Circle, we have shed
Hold on,
those
hold on,
earthly labels.
What?
Come, partake of our divine.
She's busy.
Can I ask something?
They call.
Hold on, though, because...
Gehenna, Judgment Day, the apocalypse again. Brother, you are too indoctrinated into the antiquated beliefs of this material world. There is no rhyme or reason, no all-powerful and terrible God to watch over their children. You talk of disease. What about the disease that you and I both carry?
He said he wouldn't tell your grandpa what he wants to hear and butts heads with grandpa. That doesn't sound extroverted feeling. Grandfather is particularly difficult to talk to. And although he has done that before, kind of butted heads, he doesn't go all out to, ruin his day or anything. But grandfather, it can be difficult to speak with and can be rather infuriating at times. Because grandfather has virtually no affinity for extroverted feeling whatsoever.
Journeyed below into the ninth circle.
But that's certainly not normal behavior for my cousin. And he exaggerates maybe a little bit on butting heads with him. When he says butting heads, he means that, okay, they have a difference in, let's say, opinion over some of the things that grandfather says. He's practically the only cousin that I talk to. So, yeah, he is my favorite. Yes, I enjoy playing games with him, for sure. We just recently finished a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, which takes time, as you can imagine.
The time for words has come and gone, my brother. You
Can
and
I ask
will
something?
take those last steps together
I believe you can.
and see what truth lies behind the curtain.
I've noticed
Let
that,
the
like,
night fall forever on this
INFPs,
cursed
they
earth,
usually,
and let the fruits of my labor bring a
they take, like,
long
long
and
pauses when they're talking.
You say INFPs?
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I assume it's because they're gathering their thoughts together mid-sentence.
Is it because of a function?
Well, right. So, yeah, a lot of that behavior can be explained through function preference. In INFP, much like many other extroverted intuitives, they don't live necessarily in reality. And in the case of INFPs, they don't make a habit of constructing categorizations for types of thought. They feel a lot. So they don't spend a lot of time trying to analyze necessarily how to, let me rephrase that. They don't spend a lot of time wondering how they could articulate those feelings to another human being. They feel it, they experience it, and they continue to experience it. So if they're trying to explain those things, it may take them a little bit longer to articulate what it is that they feel or what they think about a particular subject. So you can understandably, you would hear some pauses.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation.
Okay.
But just the same, if an INFP is prepared to talk about their feelings or whatever subject it is, then there would be less pausing. But if we're talking about novel conversations, certain topics that they don't spend a whole lot of time pondering, then yeah, they may take some moments to pause. Would those with a preference for extroverted sensing have an interest in traveling, exploring, just more in the real world? They would have an interest, but it doesn't necessarily translate into them wanting to go out and do it. They're like, yeah, it would be really neat to go see Hawaii. They'd be interested in it, but how interested are they going to be in it? They'd have to weigh the pros and cons, cost, benefits, things like that. Let's see. It's snowing outside. Well, that's good. It's just hot here in the desert, so I haven't seen snow in a bit.
Do
Hmm?
you want to build a snowman?
Not particularly,
I
no.
want snow.
You might want to build a snowman, and then you could name it Robert, and tell us about Robert's personality type. I would imagine. Something that you could do. Let's see here. For example, let's say a person who enjoys traveling around the world, hiking the tallest mountains or something. Would extroverted sensor users do something like that? I would think that there is a number of personalities that might want to do that, but extroverted sensors, maybe some very specific ones, ones that enjoy the idea of dominating, their physical surroundings. So ISTPs might enjoy the idea of doing that. On the other hand, why would they bother? So, like, what's the real benefit of climbing, Mount Kilimanjaro or something? Like, what's the actual benefit? Just to say that you did it? Why do that when you could instead be, watching your favorite TV show in the comfort of your own home, drinking a beer? So, there is that. Well, usually athletes make a lot of money. And so if you believe that you have a particular talent for being athletic, then why not pursue a career being an athlete where you could make literally, tens, possibly hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of your career? You would absolutely do that. Matter of fact, I would do that. If someone said, hey, I think you would be a great, defensive player for some football team, and we're willing to start you off with your first contract, you'll mostly be on the sidelines, let's say $6 million. Sign me up. Why not? You're literally paying me to go do the things that I need to do, but generally don't do, like, exercise, for example. Like, you're going to pay me to exercise? And then, yeah, sure. Why not? Will I get bored? Certainly, but at the very least, I can, let's say, exercise for 6 hours a day, and then the rest of my conscious hours, I can, come back home and play Elden Ring or, do another playthrough of Baldur's Gate. And have all my bills paid for. And better than that, I could hire a maid or something to clean up my house. All kinds of good reasons to be an athlete, a professional athlete, that is.
I work as a maid.
And you work as a maid. Can I hire you? Do you work for free? Probably not. Okay. But what if they do it for sensory reasons? Well, right. So let's take the UFC, for example. I wager that there is a large number of ISTPs who participate in UFC, as an example. So they get the benefit of they get the opportunity to cause serious bodily harm to their opponent while making a lot of money doing so. But yes, I mean, being an athlete, you're doing it because it's sensory and you get a lot of money. But if you tell you tell an ISTP, hey, or not, maybe, well, because even in the case of an ISTPs for some reason are generally more aggressive, like they want to be more physical and dominate people in that regard. But let's take an ESTP for example. You tell them, hey, look, we want you to come out and then get into a fight, and fight someone, like bare-fisted, contact with another human being. They'll ask you, okay, what's in it for me? And you say, oh, well, nothing. We just want to see you fight. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. Not that interested. They're not going to be, that interested. You give people incentive to do things, and then they will do them. But not even sure what the point of that was. Like they want to travel and explore the mountains for the adrenaline rush, for the beautiful sights they see. Usually though, like I have talked to people that wanted to travel and actually did go about traveling. Oftentimes those are ESFPs. Like it's a combination of extroverted sensing and introverted feeling. And having a desire to go see that. ESFPs and ISFPs, I have, over the past 10 years, I have noticed that they really enjoy the idea of going to see these wonderful, magical places, and that it would feel good to, experience them. But introverted thinkers and extroverted sensors, they want to know they oftentimes want a more logical reason for why they'd be doing it. So, there is that. There's a lot of people, more recently in the past couple of months, I have heard people refer to ESTPs as gym rats. And then they're just all about the gains, and they just talk about always exercising and doing stuff all the time. I'm like, look, that's not how an ESTP presents themselves to other human beings. Most of those, in quote, gym rat characters are typically someone with a preference for introverted feeling somewhere in the function tower in the first four, typically. ESTJs I have seen enjoy going to the gym. Some ISTJs, and that's of course because they were they grew up in an environment in which being physically strong was important, or it gave you a lot of reputation or clout, or people gave you respect for being swole. But typically, an introverted thinker needs a logical reason for why they're supposed to be engaging in this physical activity, and usually requires a benefit for them. I knew one ISTP who was much older. He was in his 60s, and he was a professional photographer. Now, of course, he'd gotten into the business many decades back, but he lived out in Alaska, and he would be paid to be in these very dangerous environments, and to trek up the hills and to possibly deal with wild animals, to take very specific photos. Now, he didn't do it because he just really enjoyed being, freezing his ass off out in the Alaskan wilderness. He did it because he was getting paid a lot of money to do this, and he just happened to be more proficient at dealing with the world around him. So he took one of his skills and or talents and used it to make money. But if you told him, hey, do you want to just go out and hike for the next 3 days out in the Alaskan wilderness for literally no money, he'd tell you to, go F yourself. He's not going to be doing that. So, lots of reasons. All right, boss fight time. Wait, I know we can work this out. Oh, goodness. It's a vampire that uses a shotgun. That's rude. Mm-hmm. And he's got zombies to help him out. Let's see. What's the next question? Harley, do you have a question?
Sure. What pair of shoes should I wear tomorrow?
What pair of shoes? I would go with flip-flops, if those count as shoes.
I don't have flip-flops. Try again.
You don't have flip-flops? What human being doesn't own flip-flops?
You're assuming I'm human.
I did make that assumption. Don't cancel me.
That's too much work.
Alright. So I recommend flip-flops. Cookiedough, what do you recommend?
Where can I choose from?
I have just tennis shoes, and if I borrow a pair, it'd be heels. But I'm not wearing heels because I don't want to break my neck.
I'll then do the other one.
So, do I do tennis shoes or boots?
I didn't hear what you said.
Tennis shoes or boots?
What is the weather like?
Actually, surprisingly, it's cooled down a lot. So it's 27 today. It'll be 25 tomorrow. That's in the 70s.
Okay, then I'd wear boots.
Let's see.
Wearing boots
So,
tomorrow.
can you tell us some similarities and differences you noticed in you and cousin Craig? Craig prefers straightforward approaches to handling situations. He does not like to overcomplicate things at all, whereas I will spend way too much time coming up with some really dumb ideas that end up not working, and although sound really cool in theory, they end up not being particularly useful or helpful. And that's, we spend most of our time together playing some kind of a game. So, example would be in Divinity 2, or Divinity Original Sin 2, I will try to come up with these crazy, weird builds that may or may not work, whereas he wants to play certain builds that absolutely get results and cares more or less about the hard stats, the numbers, making sure that he gets exactly what he needs, min-maxing the game, depending on what kind of character he decided to play that particular playthrough. So he prefers straightforward approaches. I prefer to convolute everything I do. So that's the most noticeable difference. In terms of similarities, we're both good with people. We both know how to handle situations. We both crack a lot of jokes. But for the most part, he spends more time living in the real world and getting from A to B as quickly as possible. So. And Z Don says you could just go barefoot instead of picking shoes.
You know what? I like that one. We're doing that one.
Barefoot? Perfect.
Yep. You know what that means? I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. This is a genius idea.
Great. Let's see.
On that note, are you streaming tomorrow?
I can if the opportunity presents itself.
I was going to say tag the hell out of me.
Oh, just tag you to get your attention?
Yeah, please.
Of course. There's a little bit of cheesecake left in the refrigerator. Should I eat? No. We're on a diet. Starting today, we are on a diet.
Wait, hold on. How little we talking here?
How what?
How little we talking here?
How little? It's probably like 600 calories in cheesecake, which doesn't have to be very big to make it to 600 calories.
So, now hear me out. Make 7 trips to the bathroom, and that should about even out.
So-called bishop.
Going to the bathroom?
No, genius. Walking back and forth to the bathroom.
Is not going to cover 600 calories. Genius.
But to business.
How far is that?
I tried.
Seeing as how the bathroom is literally, I walk out, it takes me 2 steps to get into the bathroom from my room.
Wow.
Street Daddy. I'm glad that name caught on. I think it's interesting and helpful when you bring different types on your stream. Would you ever bring an ISTP, ESTP, ISFP on your stream? Yeah, I would. I don't have a problem with that. It's just, it's difficult to find ones that care enough to be on stream. So, and of course, there are very few of them would actually care about MBTI at all, or most of them have virtually no working knowledge of the system. Moonglobes, I think, knows some about MBTI. She would probably want to be a part of that. I know all types aren't in your Discord or wouldn't be interested in talking about MBTI, but the ones that are, I think it would be interesting to hear their perspectives on here. Yeah, as long as if they want to be. We'll have to get a list of people that would be willing to come on stream with me, and we'll write it down. We'll roll some dice and see who gets to be on.
I'll go and open a segment and a section, a channel, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a vampire item. The Blood Star. Blood buff has twice the duration. Well, that's helpful, probably. Ooh, I have 17 experience points. That's way too many. And it's all Cookiedough's fault.
What?
What? That was funny. Let's boost up our intelligence score, because that's important. Kind of. It increases your research level. And now I can learn from this book here. Apparently I need a finance of at least 2 to use this item. Gee, manish. That's cheap. Ta-da! Stat increase for free, kind of. Let's see. Even if they don't want to stay the full time. Yeah, you know, on my very first live stream, I actually had Gears on there. I haven't talked to him in a very long while, but he was on here. He's ESTP. Which, once again, I revealed someone's personality. But that is a rule I have a hard time being consistent with. Let's see. Yes, it could be on, although he was on for a very long time. And I think he was drinking.
I actually feel sorry for Gears, because he was up until like 4 or 5 in the morning.
He was up very late to be a part of that stream.
Wasn't he the one that was being typed?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, he was. That was a free typing. Okay. Okay. Now we need to go see Damsel. What's next? It's only been 2 hours and 49 minutes on this stream. Cookiedough, we need you to tell us your life story here on stream, as Bob's interested.
Oh, I clean. And one time a week I'm a teacher's assistant. What else?
You killed all of them?
No, I dropped out of college. 'cause
So I guess you want me to
I didn't like it.
Damn it. Thanks.
What
Okay?
else?
Well, cool for now, but just don't go bragging to everybody about it.
Someone's blown up my
Oh,
Discord.
hobbies. I enjoy painting, art journaling, cooking. What else? I like writing poetry, bad poetry.
Completely forgot about that.
Hmm?
Nothing. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I forgot that there was a bit of a change in art direction, and I was informed that yes, all of my live stream images keep showing up as that old art or the older art. But I need to configure it so that it stops doing that. And I changed it for everything else, so I need to fix that.
Righteous. You know, you just may have an anarch soul.
It's okay,
I'll let
Bob.
you chew on that, Cammy. Some of the boys might have overheard our
Bob Ross.
conversation and gotten the impression I found soft.
Bob has terrible memory. But yes, someone remind me to fix that after the stream's over, so that I can stop using that art.
I got you. I said I got you.
You got me? Great. Wonderful news.
Also, the channel's up.
May I know? Sorry.
Also the what?
The channel's up.
The channel's up?
For a stream request for people to join the stream.
Oh, okay. To see who wants to join in on the stream for another day. Okay, great.
Yeah.
That way we can get some other people on, and then maybe they'll talk a lot. I apparently need to lure a reporter back into this abandoned building so that he can be eaten. I wonder if it'll take I imagine I'll take a hit to my humanity for doing that. What about Harley? What does she do? What hobbies does she enjoy? Tell us about your hobbies.
Oh man, my hobbies are ever changing.
Tell us about the most recent.
The most recent one that I did, actually I'll tell you about the next one that I plan on picking up again.
Okay.
I actually plan on picking up archery again. No reason, just because I can. And currently I'm learning Russian.
The last thing I heard was something about depression.
Currently I am learning Russian.
Russian. Okay. There you go.
Archery is so cool.
I enjoy being able to hit particular areas that I try to get in for. I don't know. I do weird things.
I like weird.
You like weird?
Yes.
Weird's not so bad. Oops. Got it.
Harley, do you go to school?
At the moment, no. No. Eventually, I'll finish the degree I was going for.
Astrophysics, I bet.
How did you know?
I didn't know. I took a guess. Took a stab at it.
Creepy.
Astrophysics?
Yes.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds cool.
It is the study of the universe, the galaxies, the stars, and everything that has to do with the physics behind it. There's your
Cool. Okay.
gradual explanation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
I
I
wanna go
lost
home.
humanity.
Let's see. What did I do last week?
What did you do
Maybe
last
a fun
week?
little game. What did I do last week? Oh, I picked up a 1,000 question book that I'll be running by you at some point.
Just like a book about trivia? So-
No. It's I'll explain it to you later when I pull you aside.
okay.
What else did I do? I looked into a couple of theories. Nothing of great importance, just stuff that I had come across.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that my police department here in my city covers up things.
Oh, the police cover things up. No way.
More specifically, injuries to children that happen during parades.
Oh. Who would have thought?
I got a nice little chuckle out of that. What else? I really can't think of anything other than like a few typing sessions every so often.
If a man walks into a Yes, I am searching for 2 items I have tracked to this area. One, I believe, may be in one of the local museums. I have not yet searched them all. The other,
Are you done with talking, Harley?
Possession, though I have not confirmed. For these items, I will exchange.
Are you done talking, Harley?
No, because
A fetish is
I thought
described
maybe
in
she's still
19th century
thinking of that. I don't want to
chronicle of a British
interrupt.
platoon's encounter with a local tribe.
No, you're free
Soldiers
to.
would go missing in the night and be replaced by these fetishes.
Okay,
It may be valuable to my studies.
is it common for high NE users to
Yes.
hate school?
Death is the ultimate.
Say that again?
Yes. I am searching for
Is it
these
common
items.
for high NE users to hate school?
Is it common? Like, what do you mean by hate school? Like, just are bored with the idea of going to school, doing those things? I don't think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's common. Like, for example, I would go to college right now to learn more about the entertainment industry. But that's what it would be for. I would just go there to gain some education from other people who were, maybe a part of the entertainment industry. But not for really much else when I go to college.
My answer to it would be, it depends on what type of school you're talking about.
It is used to communicate with certain entities otherworldly.
That's a good question. I don't know, just school in general.
I actually don't mind school. I enjoy learning anything that I can about stuff that I don't know. But if it's something that I do know, I will get bored with the topic pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that ENFPs don't really mind school, for example. I imagine that INFPs may end up being in school and having to learn about things that they're not as interested in. That could be a problem. ENTPs, I don't think inherently hate school, but they very much dislike the idea of having to learn about things that they're not interested in. And then, of course, doing homework is not something that they're going to be pleased with whatsoever. So, don't think they hate school.
I also don't really care for homework.
Let's see. Wildman says, people say that you're the average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. I'm not sure how I would quantify that, but possibly. Why not? But I spent a lot of time with my brother, and he's an INTJ, and that's very different from me by a lot. Does it bother you when you see someone talking about something confidently and they are incorrect when it's something you are interested in, specifically like MBTI? It does. I'm less vocal about it, as I might have been, let's say, 8 years ago. But, yeah, I tend to get irritated. Yes. Because it certainly it's an invitation for confrontation, most certainly, but that's not really the issue. The issue is that I'll have to be butting heads with someone who has a completely different understanding of MBTI, and then trying to convince them that that is not it is difficult. So. I do my best to say things like, "Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it," or I might say, "Oh, that's kind of strange, given that the definition from the actual Myers-Briggs organization has a different they have a different definition for that cognitive function." Try to segue it into them somehow learning or changing their opinion. Doesn't always work. Let's see. Would all introverted thinking you... Oh, no. Wild Man says he has respect for what Harley is doing. School-wise, I think. Would all introverted thinking users be bothers by that? INTP, ISTP, ESTP, ENTP. Yeah. I don't think there is a time in which they don't express being bothered by that. Expressing it can take different forms. So when I'm bothered by a logical inconsistency, you'll find me asking questions directly related to their logic. And I'm trying not to be accusatory towards that person. I just want them to think about what they said, and then give them a chance to reorder what they were talking about, or consider it.
And I'll straight up tell you that you're wrong and this is why, and then I'll prove you wrong, and if you don't take the facts, I'll just walk away from the conversation.
I can't keep getting him these scoops if he's going to send high school journalists who don't know enough to wear something that would blend in. Jeez, what kind of Woodstein don't think to at least show dressed up like an investigator, or a Coast Guard guy, something? Didn't you ever see Fletch? What, are they just handing out those diplomas nowadays? All right, look. I got you a copy of the initial report, and I can get you into the cabin, but you gotta make yourself real scarce after that. Anybody catches you.
Also, thanks, Bob.
Flash photography brainchild. Hold up a sec.
Didn't Bob say that they have a high appreciation for whatever I'm doing?
Oh yes, Wild Man.
There.
Oh, my bad. Thank you, Wild Man.
Head down the stairs behind you and stay low. When you get down there, wait for me to call off the guy guarding gangway A.
I'm kidding.
As soon as he leaves, get your... Don't forget to stay out of view. Now get
Yeah, I'm driving. I'm not exactly reading chat.
You're driving?
I was. No, I am not.
Heinz to Anderson. Come in, Anderson. Yeah? Come check this out. I just saw a baleen whale.
How old are you, Harley?
On my way.
Never ask a lady her age.
I'm ancient.
That's all right. Harley is no lady.
Harley is a robot. I am 38.
You sound very young.
Harley's 38. Maybe, possibly. She could be mistaken.
I actually get that a lot. A lot of people tell me I sound way younger than I am.
You sound like 20? 21?
Huh. What? Oh, I don't think I want to be here, do I? Let's see. Sup, I just found your channel and already laughed a lot. Thanks, I appreciate the honesty of ENTPs. Hard to find that in MBTI. When everyone likes to keep things overly positive on YouTube. They sure do like to keep things overly positive, don't they? Let's see. Thank you, Navarre. Also, what's up with INFP voices? Half of VTubers are INFPs. I don't watch any VTubers, but I guess that's quite possible. My INTP friend of 20 years had suggested doing VTube stuff, and then just something about being some kind of rabid raccoon or something with a chainsaw as part of his shtick. So I don't suspect he'll actually do it though.
What are VTubers?
It's like doing podcast stuff, but instead of it being you, you have a completely computer-generated background with a computer-generated character that's mouth moves when you talk. I think.
Ah, okay.
Apparently my hacking skills are not good enough to get through this. Except for this one. Actually, I don't think that was necessary, but... Let's turn those off. Let's see. Wonder what the purpose of that was. Computer skills. Let's boost up the wits, because that'll help with combat defense as well. Let's see if that works. Still not high enough? Really? Dang.
Let me reset Discord.
Okay. I'm 2 points away from getting another point in computer. Oh well. Let's see. Okay, well. Let's try and sneak our way through this without getting any attention. Are you ready, Cookiedough?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, good. He fell for it. Nah. Okay, let's... Oh, no.
Hello, people definitely type.
Gotta do vampire things. Let's save it here. Oh, God. Cookiedough, why didn't you tell me there was a cop around the corner?
Sorry.
Oh. Okay.
Like a goddamn Cuisinart with all this blood.
Lieutenant?
Like an animal. Come on, check the map.
What was that?
I don't know, animals. Something could have done this and fell over. Roger, Lieutenant.
And there it is. We're looking for the Ankaran sarcophagus, and it is all the way over there. What are the chances that I'd be able to just jump without getting caught? Apparently not good. Okay. I'd have to actually not be in sneak mode to make that jump. I don't know if I'll get caught, though. Ha! Yeah, he noticed, though, that something happened. Okay, we're good. Wah. And invisible wall. Okay. Oop. Let's see. More MBTI questions. There's only 50 minutes left.
Box missing, looks like. All this cargo in one little box gone.
That could just be a typo in the manifest.
Yeah, or someone in the crew could have swiped it.
Lost it.
For now, we should assume that's what they came out here for.
Does it say what was in it?
Nope. Looks like it was packaged with the,
I actually know a fair
I want
bit.
someone to
No contents listed.
Say what now?
Fishy.
Could it be a drug
I want
thing?
someone in the comments to guess my type.
Oh, someone in the comments guess Cookiedough's type.
Why get rid of the bodies, though?
Dunno. No sense to any of it.
What about the sarcophagus? Anybody take a look yet?
It's sealed up tight, fused together practically. Can't even find a seam. You'd almost think it was solid.
Are ESTPs the gigolos? They certainly have the capability of being a gigolo. I think they could pull it off better than most other types. Okay, we've got 2 votes for INFP. A gigolo is essentially a male escort.
Oh, okay.
Why what? I'll go INTJ with the introverted intuition, introverted feeling loop since everyone said INFP already. Oh boy. Someone said the loop word.
I'm an INTJ with NIFI loop.
Okay. What about ESFPs? ESFPs, although they could certainly get the physical aspects down, like, they can go to the gym, and if they were, genetically blessed with a, decent-looking face, then absolutely they could, be something of a gigolo. However, gigolos are often required to be, I guess the simplest way to put it is to have a high degree of extroverted, like not a high degree, but I mean a strong preference for extroverted feeling, because it's not all about how you look, it's about how you handle conversation with the person that you're with. It's to be entertaining and to be pleasant company. So ESFPs may not always know exactly how to read a person and act accordingly. So ooh, that was close. Who's there?
Gigolo sounds cute.
Say what?
The word gigolo sounds cute. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a cute word. Crap. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. It's all Cookiedough's fault. Okay. So ENTPs are the gigolos too. Could they do it? Sure, but there's a little bit more effort and work involved that ENTPs aren't going to be as interested in doing. For example, maintaining strong physical health. Less interested, and so it would be considered less work intensive for an ESTP than for an ENTP. So, and who's to say I haven't been a gigolo in my earlier years? Who's to say?
He actually was, that's how I met him.
What about INFJ if they have a dream to be a gigolo? I don't know what INFJ would think that their pinnacle that they could achieve in life would be the notoriety of being a gigolo. I don't know which INFJ would think that, but I suppose they could. They may not be. They certainly need the practice, but it's possible. We got another one.
Harley is back.
Oh, it's Harley. Okay. That is Bright. Goodness. Let's see. What do you hate about MBTI? I don't really hate much of anything, or anyone for that matter. But in terms of things I dislike about MBTI, really nothing. There's nothing really to dislike about it. I mean, you can dislike parts of the community that was built around MBTI. I think that it's too easy for people to misunderstand the system and start typing themselves or family members as certain personality types, and that causes confusion, and that causes people to assume certain traits of certain personalities, and then that gets put into the ether, and then everyone else thinks that, oh, apparently INFJs are also supposed to be these emotional paragons that understand what everyone's feeling at all times. Like, that kind of crap I don't much appreciate.
Okay, I think I'm officially back.
Oh, welcome back then. What are your thoughts on the loops in MBTI, or do you have a video on that already? I think that people adapt their personality to their lifestyle. I don't know if loop is actually a thing or not. I don't think that anyone really gets, in quotes, stuck in a loop. Certainly not for very long. There's the idea that your brain is somehow malfunctioning and that you are consistently jumping from one function, bypassing another one that you're supposed to have more of a preference of, into the third one, and then looping back and forth over and over again. That's like, are we talking about like it's being expressed in reality that this person's going through an in quote loop? I think it's there are too many variables just in that question alone, and that I think loops are, for the most part, nonsense. I think it's nonsense. A common loop, might be a INFP who loops, who is experiencing their feelings and then remembering other times in which they experienced their feelings, and then going back to how they feel about that, and then maybe going back to the introvert setting. Like, that's one of the more common loops. Do you think that at no point they're also using their extroverted intuition to ponder those past experiences and how those things could have been different, and how they might have done things differently in those past horrible situations? Of course that's what they're doing. So
yeah, that's what I know.
There's no this loop of just bypassing a whole function. That's silly. You're not just shutting off a part of your brain manually so that you can get stuck in this loop. And certainly your brain's not malfunctioning in such a way that you're literally not using other functions. You're just going through these loops. That's not humans. No, that's not reality. That's nonsense. Someone had an idea of loops and decided to implement it. Maybe there's a more detailed understanding or definition for loop, something more specific, and then we could look into that. But I haven't seen it. If there was more of a detailed explanation of that. Who dat?
Me. Oh, it's me. The you call Kiwi.
It's Kiwi.
It's me.
It's Kiwi.
Yes, it's me.
Mm.
Hi. I'm back.
Bright lights. Welcome back, Kiwi.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, we got a Kiwi sticker in the chat just for you.
Hey, yo. Yeah. Just for me? Oh, that's so nice. Is it for me?
It could be for you.
Yeah, it's for you.
Could have been coincidental,
It could
but
be.
it seems unlikely.
Are you implying it's for me? On your stream, that
I'm not even implying. I straight up said it was for you. No implications necessary.
Oh, you're so nice.
No,
You're
I didn't.
so
I didn't
nice.
do it. It was Cookiedough. So.
Thank you. Oh man, I already love you. You're so nice to me. Thank you.
Just so much love in the stream today.
You love. I would never feel love except for Cookiedough. You. I mean, you. What the fuck? I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
You can say whatever you want.
Thank you. I'll blame the
then.
alcohol. I apologize.
Oh, that's right.
Good
You were
strategy.
doing party stuff today.
Yeah, although to be honest, I'm probably, well, this is usually the case. I'm the most sober at the party right now. I have had to carry 2 people to bed. I think I told this earlier. I have extinguished 1 fire, resolved 4 feuds at this point.
Goodness.
And yeah, I'm kind of the firefighter, police, friendly person you go to, I guess. I like it though. Also, I fed people. I made food for people. They were hungry, and so I fed 40-year-olds because it's like a family party. But they're all pretty drunk, so I had to cook food for them.
We got it.
They were hungry, so I gotta feed them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Do
think
you
you can
like
bypass. Yes, Navarre, I don't. I
Uh-huh.
also don't think you can just bypass functions. So.
I mean, I like them most of the time, but most of the parties I go to is with people I'm comfortable with, either family members or close friends. So yes, I do like parties if it's on my terms. I do like them. If it's people I'm comfortable with, yes. I'll only go to the club or the bar if I'm comfortable with the people around. Otherwise, I wouldn't go on my own at all. How
What
about
would
you?
a party on your look like? Sorry, what did you say? I said, what would a party on your terms look like?
Well, okay, if I'm thinking of the people I would invite, it would be, okay, obviously if it's a party, gotta get a little bit of alcohol in there, we're taking shots, you know. The ideal party would be us playing Jackbox in person with everybody. We're doing talking points, or we're playing, honestly, anything would be really fun with my friends, because I know all of them are really funny and very creative, so they can come up with the best jokes, and I love that. I love a lot of things about the friends I make, and they're amazing. But probably some games, like maybe Mario Kart or something on the big TV, and then we have, like, we'll be like, oh, you lost, take a shot, and stuff like that. Or we'll have like also I'll cook dinner, because I like making like a big ass dinner for everybody, so I'll like prepare food as everybody is mingling in my living room or something. I'll be cooking some food. People can come check in on me. I'll be like, I'm doing good over here. Chef person is doing great. Go on, join the others to socialize, because I need a little time to relax. And so I'm cooking. But I'd cook food for everybody, and then we'd be like enjoying some games together, and then take some more drinks. Yeah, that's probably it. Like with a nice, comfortable circle of people that I like. Yeah.
I love how you know exactly what you like in a party.
Yeah, I mean, I've had parties before. Since my birthday is literally the day after Halloween, so usually I have it on Halloween, so as soon as it's midnight, people usually, they're like, oh, it's your birthday now, ain't it? And then the candles go out, you know, it's funny. But usually I have it either on Halloween or like some days after, so I have a Halloween themed party, so everybody, you know, comes to the party looking like zombies or video game characters, and I think that's really funny. I'm like, oh, what are you? Oh, you're Jack Sparrow, nice. Who are you? Oh, you're Naruto, nice. Love that. Yeah, so my birthday is literally the day after Halloween, so people usually celebrate it during that day. So either the day of Halloween or the day after, and so that's why I'm really lucky. So either people remember it or they forget it completely because they're celebrating Halloween. It's one or the other.
I don't have time for a monologue.
Mm.
Give me the
But yeah,
bullet
usually it's
points
Halloween
you saw,
themed with games, yeah.
and the Ankaran sarcophagus. What
Uh,
did you see?
bye-bye, Bob. Maybe we'll talk later. Sleepy, I don't know how long you were out. I didn't know you were... Were you asleep or something?
Have a good one, Bob.
Let's not
Get that
jump to
good sleep.
conclusions. Give me the
Good
manifest
sleep.
in your notes.
Have
I'll
the
study
sweetest
this
of
later.
dreams.
You might have noticed when you came in the parade of malingering mollycoddles filing out. Those were the Primogen, this city's clan elders, a worrisome bunch devoted first and foremost to the security of their own skin.
Mm.
Also, are you? I'm assuming you're still streaming Archin. You
Mhm.
probably are. I'm sorry if I sidetracked it by a little bit.
No, we need more talking going on. Seems like...
Hell yeah, okay, that's great. Alcohol comes in good play right here because I become more talkative when I drink.
Only for another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll cut the stream. About 30 or so minutes.
Alright. Well, I'll let you know, chat. You're very appreciated. We love you, all of us. Love you. Ah.
Yes, for the moment.
God damn it, I'm cringe when I'm drinking. This is sad. I apologize.
To those that rise to the top of this organization. Stay that course. Yes, about Grout. As I said, Grout is the
I have
Malkavian
been more
Primogen.
talkative than I
His behavior
expected.
and home are
Me?
eccentric, to say the
Or
least.
no,
He's
me.
developed a
Like
paranoid
during the
Mm.
stream, I'm usually meant.
So you may have to check under every
Oh, good.
Ooh. I'm glad you're more talkative. That's great. We need more talkative INFP representation. I'm actually pretty talkative, actually. Normally, I think I'm, well, like most people, I'm usually half and half on everything. On most things. I think you mentioned before, Urchin, that most people are 50-50 on the extroverted introverted spectrum.
Yes.
And I'm definitely like right in the middle. Sure, it depends on the people I'm around, but it's very likely, in terms of if I'm online, I'm more likely to be more sociable. But if I'm in person, I'm a lot more shyer. Like, I'm so shy, I do not talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's on Discord, it's a lot easier because you don't see the person in front of you. Because I read faces a lot and body language and stuff like that. Like, I can usually tell if they like me or not, and most of the time they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I feel like because I overthink a lot. Like, I overthink too much, and so I just don't talk.
What are you doing here?
But
I actually feel more comfortable in real life.
Oh,
Like,
that's really interesting that we're the opposite on that.
Pardon me.
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm just awkward.
Aw.
Awkward works.
In general, like both online and in person too.
Mhm.
Oh my god. How does that?
It doesn't.
I mean, I know it's like kind of a awkward question to ask, I guess, but like, is there at any point where you feel more inclined to talk online or more inclined to talk in person? It's just completely 100% on both, or like a 50-50, I guess, depending on the people.
If you talk about a subject that really grabs my attention, you will get me to talk up a little bit more. Urchin has seen this firsthand.
Certainly.
If it's something if it's something that I'm not really interested in, or I'm just using you as background noise, then I'm gonna sit there and be quiet the whole time.
Excuse me.
Okay. Did you burp?
I sneezed real good.
Oh, you sneezed.
I do that from time
Dude,
to time.
as soon as I joined, my hiccups stopped, and I'm so fucking thankful. Sorry. I'm so
My goodness.
extremely thankful. I'm so extremely. That's what I said, guys. Don't read into. I just didn't think you heard it clearly. I'm so thankful, extremely thankful, that that my sneeze, not my sneezes, that my hiccups stopped. Because those are awkward. They're really awkward.
One unfortunate phenomenon in particular of
Gotta go to sleep. It's 4:20 where Wild Man lives. And he is off to sleep. Thank you for being here, Wild Man.
Here. In an hour, I'll say it's okay. An hour and nine. You know what? I'm not even gonna do the math because my brain can't keep up.
Uh-oh.
I'm stupid. I can't do quick maths. Okay, 1 hour and 49. No.
What?
No, 1 hour and... I'm not even gonna do the math, bro.
That palpable atmosphere of blistered
I don't even know what time it is. It is... Okay, 3:21. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ.
That gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and
Oh my god.
screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky.
Odd puzzle. Crap.
I would burp, but it's
Blandon
not very stream
says,
friendly.
I don't talk in real life and online. I play worse when I talk. Oh, well, talking can be distracting. Well, certainly. Do you gals agree that talking is distracting?
I would say it depends on what I'm doing. Like, sure, I love talking, even though, like, sure, it depends on the people, honestly. It's not really about the it's more about the people. Like, I can talk about anything. If you want to talk about something, I'm up to discuss. Like, I'll always give you another perspective. If you have a perspective, even if I agree on it, you know, I'll still give you another perspective just because. Because I like having that reflection of, oh, you're saying that. Let me give you another, opportunity to speak about this. Like, I
Good
like
night, Wild Man.
bringing... Yeah, like I like giving fresh perspectives on things and stuff. But if I'm playing a game, depending on what game it is, like if it's an FPS, I might be more inclined to stick quiet because I'm trying to focus on aiming because my aim is shit. I mean, really, dog poop. Is poop? I'm so sorry. Bad. Potty mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, urchin.
Potty mouth.
I have a potty mouth.
Let's see. MPTM. Right?
Oh shit. Wait. Oh fuck. No.
It's actually really cool how,
Did
like,
not work.
when you're talking, these sound waves enter someone's ears and then they trigger, like, an idea or, like, an emotion. It's very cool, actually. Who?
Absolutely.
Who?
Urchin?
What's up?
Or who?
Oh.
What was the question? I zoned out.
Cookiedough, what'd you say? I don't know. Were you talking about Urchin?
I was explaining why I think sound waves are cool.
Yeah, but you were talking about, like, you were saying something like when somebody was saying something. I want all the context. It's just in general, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do
Yeah.
think sound waves is pretty cool.
The idea
No,
that
it's
our...
just me. I'm on a phone right now. That's why my audio quality, my quality is really bad.
So we were
But
talking about how it's interesting that the ear takes in sound waves and then is interpreted by the brain as a more complex language. Maybe? Is that what we were going for?
I think so. I think that's what they meant. Because when you explain it like that, when you put it into words better, Urchin, I think that made a lot more sense. But I just thought it sounded more direct to like a certain person when I listened to when you said it, Cookiedough. That's why I was like, who? Because I wanted to understand the full context of it. Yeah.
We have fun here.
Yay.
All right.
But yeah, I think honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I think that not like there are very select few YouTubers that actually grasp my attention in terms of not only attention span, because my attention span is pretty short. I can focus on something if I really focus on it, but I think that has with my ADHD to do and nothing to do with my MBTI. But I think whenever Urchin talks, I feel like I'm more inclined to listen. I think it also has with the mic quality to do, because I did study sound engineering and like music production and stuff, so I really like it when somebody has like at least a sort of decent mic. It makes it a lot easier for me to process like what's going on. Also, most of the videos that I have watched from you, I went back and I watched a lot more of them. I think the way you make the videos is a lot easier for me to process, because not only do you kind of make it easy for me to understand, but you also make it like interesting to listen to. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but I think not only are you making the content interesting, you're also making me kind of perk up my ears and actually listen, which not a lot of YouTubers can do. There are very few. There was this one art YouTuber, I don't remember their name, but like she was amazing at keeping my focus, and I don't know how, but it was just so enticing to watch her and listen to her talk. There wasn't even a lot going on the screen, just the way she was talking, and I think you got the same kind of pacing I need to listen, which is really fun. Sorry if my voice is shaking. It's really cold outside. I live in Sweden. It's pretty much ice age here.
Oh.
Those are my
Well,
experience.
I thank you for the flattering description of my
it's
content.
not flattery. It's just flat out like what I think.
Well,
It was still flattering.
I've actually heard a lot of people say it has a lot to do with tone too.
Mm-hmm. So I've got a good tone for it then. Seems.
Yeah, I mean, you're. I feel like I'm just giving you all the flattery, but honestly.
Yeah, you're making that ego go a little too high.
You know what? Maybe I should just tell you you're. I can't say that on stream, can I? I can't swear. You're a female dog, you piece of poop.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Love you. Bang. Shot.
Got him.
I'm trying to censor myself as best as I can. I'm sorry. I'm just very lucky at least.
Huey.
Yes. Chaos, the key.
I heard in a video that in Sweden.
Yes? In Sweden, what? Tell me. We poop in the forest and we wipe our ass, I mean, out of butt cheeks and bears? Yeah, that's true. Sorry, what did you say?
It's not even funny, I don't know.
No, like, just say it. I'll confirm if it's true.
That the way they say yes is like
like a like that?
Yeah, is that true?
Oh yeah, it actually is. It actually is. That is a way you can say yes, or kind of like affirm something. If somebody goes, "Oh, do you like dogs?" You know, you just breathe in air, and people are like, "Okay, understandable, my guy. High five."
Whether it is born of habit.
But yeah, that is actually true. It's one of the accents. It's from a certain part of Sweden, but everybody in Sweden acknowledges it as like a true way of saying yes and like acknowledging something. Like, oh, you like this book? Of course I do. Well, you just breathe in air, go.
I'm gonna start doing that randomly now.
Yeah, do that. People are gonna be so confused and just be like, no, this Swedish person explained to me that this is how you do it universally, like, no matter the country. They told me this is correct, so don't you fucking, don't you flippin' disagree with me. I'm so sorry.
Next time somebody goes, "Are you an INTP?" I'm gonna go, and just walk away.
Exactly, just be like, oh, okay. I was finally receiving some peace of mind, and now somebody's looking for me, I think. Give me a second.
Well, that was something.
Curtin, what's the topic tomorrow?
What?
What's the topic tomorrow?
It's my dad.
What's trapping tomorrow?
What's the topic tomorrow?
Topic? You tell me what the topic tomorrow is. Maybe we'll actually stick to it.
Alright, so, how long do I have?
How long do you have?
What, about 20 hours?
Something
I'll
like
let you know
that,
in
yeah.
about 19. I'll let
That'll
you know
work
in
for
19.
me.
Excellent.
Why do vampires have morphine bottles in their house? Is it to... I wouldn't
Yeah,
think that to subdue them it wouldn't have been necessary, but...
No, it's an adrenaline rush.
They can't... So, in this game, vampires can feel the effects of certain narcotics, but it requires that they get it out of the blood of the person that ingested it.
So you pump the person full of it, and you drink the blood. I'm not understanding the confusion.
Well, but I mean, vampires aren't necessarily interested in that. The ultimate high in the world of darkness is the drinking of someone's blood. So there must be something else to this. Like, why would they pump someone full of morphine?
This is going to be one of the weirdest things I've Googled.
Maybe it's to make them feel less pain.
Maybe.
What if it's to get the blood out faster?
Yeah, say what?
I said, what if it's just to get the blood out faster?
It
Blood?
could be. It doesn't take them very long to get blood out of somebody. It takes like a whole like 30 seconds to drain someone completely in the world of darkness.
Really now?
What if,
It does not take long at all.
What if I try to speed run that?
Speed run it. Yeah. Just wondering why they've got morphine stashed around is all.
As I
I'm going to get some more to drink. I'll be right back.
Oh, hey, look, there's actually an article on it. I didn't think there would be.
Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo.
Well, that was very short-lived.
My fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of weakness or theirs. Very inconsistent. I dare not mention the symptoms my vampire peers. Proven themselves full predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information voices
Well,
have given me
I
ranges
think we're out
from
of questions for the day. People went to bed.
the latter case is especially true of one powerful.
Any last moment questions before we cut this stream a hair bit early? Would you be a werewolf or a vampire? It's barely a
Hands
question.
down, vampire.
Vampire. Vampiric invisibility.
Me too.
I was asked a question yesterday. I'm going to ask you. Would you rather talk to animals or be able to know every language?
I think every language.
Why?
Well, let's say you had the ability to talk to animals. I don't know if the animals are going to have anything particularly useful to say, or would even comprehend, more complex thoughts or language. So I would be taking the risk that I could talk to animals and it wouldn't be particularly useful, where I know that speaking every language would be useful.
So my answer was similar, but not quite. The animal
What
part
was
of
your
it was.
answer?
My answer was the animal part of it was exactly what I said, which is why I started laughing. But the reason I don't speak all the languages is because I'd be able to speak old languages, which means I'd be the only person in the world that could translate particular plates and old stuff that's found.
Yeah. Make bank.
Depending on how I feel that day, would depend on if I translate it correctly. But I let you believe for a millennium that this does something else.
Yeah, like Aramaic and Latin. And what do we got here? Do extroverted intuitive users like switching games a lot to explore different ideas, strategies, or do you like finishing games or sticking with the same game? Yeah, I definitely... there are some games that give me the ability to do things differently regularly. Like, so that's typically why I enjoy action RPGs, is because you can play the same game but with a completely different character, completely different builds, weapons, skills, abilities, etc. Because I definitely don't enjoy just doing it the same way over, especially if I know exactly what's going to happen next. I'm not really that interested.
I get bored fast.
Yeah, you're going to get bored pretty quickly. So, I'll play a game, finish it in like 12 hours, and then move on to the next one.
Back again. I have more alcohol.
Congratulations. I generally will play multiple games at one time. I don't really stick to just one.
How do you play more than one game at the same time?
Different devices.
What?
We have like one game on the Switch, one on the PC, another one on the PS.
Yeah, I'm like, I can play one game at a time, but if I wanted to switch to another game, I couldn't just, load it up and then all of a sudden be playing both at the same time. So that's beyond me.
No, what it means is I don't just focus on solidly one game. I will play multiple games at the same time. Like, I will play a RPG, and then I'll play some solo game. I'll play chess. I'll be doing different games.
Simultaneously? Wow.
Yeah, not simultaneously, just in general. I don't like to keep one game as my primary focus.
She's a witch.
I am. I'm magical.
Cool. That is so cool. I wish I could do that.
So, like, if I go to my phone right now, let's just do my phone. I have chess. I have my home planet. I have Sideswipe. I have Stim Bombs. And these are all the games that I'm currently interested in. And I try to keep myself from getting burned out on particular games.
That makes sense.
God damn it, I hate Sweden. Why is it so cold?
Why is it so cold? I miss the cold.
I don't want to have to socialize too much anymore. It's just old people now. All the young folk left, and that's why I went outside.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have to go out. Dude, some of them are like almost passing out, so I'm gonna have to leave in a bit,
of Magic the Gathering, but
at least
eventually
an
got bored
hour.
of it. I guess the magic has gone finally. Yeah, Magic the Gathering. When I get the urge to play Magic the Gathering, there is a program called Cockatrice that I recommend that you download, and you can play with all the different cards from all the different sets since forever, going all the way back to alpha to current day sets. So if I get the urge to do it, I download that and then, make card combinations, make decks out of it.
What's the temperature there, Urchin?
For me?
Urchin?
What's up?
The thing is, it's not even that cold, but then again, I don't even know if we're on proper... Actually, let me check. Because it's gotta be at least -5 Celsius, at least. God fucking damn it, it's cold.
I'm actually at 15.
I'm drinking alcohol too, so it shouldn't be freezing, but then again, I'm not that affected by alcohol, so... Let me check.
Yeah. I'm at 15, which is surprising. Urchin, what's yours?
What's the temperature here in the town? I'd have to look it up. So I certainly don't know. Let's find out.
God damn it, it should be here. How? What the fuck? What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you
Says
mean
it's 82 degrees
4
outside.
degrees? What do you mean it's 4 degrees
82?
Celsius? It feels like -5.
Just for a translation for you, Urchin, it's 59 degrees here.
Okay. It's a little bit colder there.
Oh, Fahrenheit?
Yeah, it's 15 for you.
You guys are going by Fahrenheit?
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
Again, it's 15 for you.
Pathetic. Use Celsius. It'll do you good.
I literally just did.
Oh, you're going by
I
Celsius?
use Fahrenheit.
I said 15 3 times for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, 15 Celsius. That's fucking warm. Oh, sorry, again. But then again, it's way too far along in the stream anyway to be demonetized.
It's too far along in the
by me
stream.
swearing. Yeah, it's
Hello,
fine.
PenCap. PenCap was late today in getting onto the stream, and we were just about to turn the stream off. It's been on for almost 4 hours.
No, get in here now before it's too late.
I've been here for 4 hours. I thought I would leave after like 2.
I'm so glad you're still here. I like that you're here. You're so nice.
Thank you.
I don't even know you, but you're so nice.
Someone's
I don't know.
drunk.
Well, not really, if I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's them making me drunk in that sense. But okay. I feel like I'm so cold. My hands are like icicles. Or like ice
Yeah, I
cubes.
can't live in Sweden. I'll die.
It's very cold. Oh my god.
For an example, for an example, it's 59 here, and I'm already cold. I'm wearing a hoodie. I don't have time for this.
Ain't got time.
Nope.
Yes.
Nobody has time for this. Which is hilarious, because if you actually catch the first stream I was on, I was complaining it was too hot.
Women complaining about temperature. Never heard of that before.
Look, 70. 70 is perfect.
70 is perfect.
I know it.
Gonna
The
say,
voices
change my
have proven
mind.
themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely.
I just have to tell my dad I'm a Viking. Don't worry, bro.
Don't worry, bro.
Almost fell over. There was a chair in the way. Honestly, I'm walking in the dark. There's no light anyway. Yeah, my dad just came out to tell me he was going to bed, so I had to run over to give him a hug.
Aw. He's
But-
going to bed at
He was
what time is
"Okay,
it there?
good
Like
night."
5?
Yeah, I was like,
or
I love you
something?
too. He's like, don't catch a cold out here. It's very cold outside. I was like, I'm fine, Dad. I'm a Viking. He was like, okay, I believe in you. I was like, thank you.
Well, that's nice.
I love my family. They're so nice.
They sound pretty great. I'm jealous for sure.
My dad's. Sorry. My dad's a gamer too.
That's cool.
My mom used to be a gamer too, as well. They used to play CS Source together.
Mhm.
They had a clan and everything.
Oh.
It was really cool. So when I was like 12 years old, I used to run back and forth between their computers to see which one would win in a 1v1. Usually my mom won, of course, you know.
Of course.
Of course.
What, he let her win?
No, but like, it was like a 50-50. They would want like, it's a pretty good matchup. My dad was a little bit better, but you know, I tell my mom she was better because she was like, I was better, right? I was like, yeah, Mom, you were amazing. It's
What a
really
sweetheart.
fun because they're still friends with a lot of the people they used to play with and stuff, and sometimes they bring out the gamer lingo, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, my mom would bring up something at the dinner table because they were talking about games, and my mom would be like, "Oh yeah, I really love shanking you in the back, bro. It was really nice. I love that one time we played this one map. It was really good." Yep. And they'll be like, "God fucking damn it, you really sneaked up on me, and I fucking hated that." Language. Sorry. Hey, it's way too far.
That's all right.
along in the stream
We're
now.
gonna be cutting the stream soon anyway.
I'm
yes.
so sorry. If you don't make money off of this, I will PayPal you something. I don't know how much. I'm not that rich, but I'll PayPal you.
$1 million.
$1
That is what we lost in this.
Okay, 1 million. That's like 10 million in Swedish. Don't you fuck? I mean, don't you freaking dare.
I feel like she's gonna be the one that we need the swear jar for.
We would need a swear jar for that.
If you put a swear jar on me, dude, if I put a penny in a swear jar, I'd be a millionaire at this point.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever gotten to the point where they couldn't afford to swear with that rule in effect? They literally couldn't afford it.
I would be broke officially. All my money would go into the swear jar. I wouldn't even be able to pay my taxes or rent. I'd be homeless thanks to that freaking female dog of a swear jar. Yep.
I just stopped talking.
Anyways, so that was Saturday's stream. I think everyone that is still around, we kind of sort of talked about MBTI. That was pretty neat, right? I mean, that was
really nice.
Pretty normal. Yeah. So I'd like to thank
came in and fucked it up.
Would like to thank my guests. We've got Harley and Cookiedough and Kiwi, and I'm gonna keep calling her Kiwi forever. Hopefully we'll be able to stream tomorrow as well. If you have any more MBTI questions, make sure to save it for then. Don't forget to like, possibly subscribe, and join the Discord if you want to have more conversations about MBTI or realistically anything, because anything goes on in the Discord. And I think that is it. Say bye.
Also, any suggestions, you can go ahead and post them on the Discord as well. Bye, guys.
And post suggestions in the Discord as well. Streaming topics, etc.
Subscribe, comment.